Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the sophomores and the juniors of your Moorhead Spuds. Once again, good evening, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Jim Gota Stadium, home of the Moorhead Spuds. Tonight, we celebrate our seniors. First up, the TM, Caden Olta, son of Kyle and Mario Olta. That's what really missed most about the Spuds, he said, Coach Feeney. Next up, the manager, Riley Case. Son of Jeff and Kim Case. What is your favorite football saying? He said, Band of Brothers. Next up, we have number 5, Ty Hayes. Son of Rory Swanigan. What is your favorite football saying? It is finish. Number 9, Jack Stecks. Son of Tim and Sue Stecks. What is your favorite football saying? Once a Spud, always a Spud. Number 14, Coleman Creer. Son of Greg and Pam Creer. What will you miss most about playing for the Spuds? Strapping the pads on with my friend. Number 16, Ethan Hawk. Son of Chris and Aaron Hawk. What will you miss the most? Playing with the guys I have grown up with. Number 17, Noah Fairfield. Son of Scott and Sarah Fairfield. What is your favorite football saying? Take the candy. Next up, number 20, Grant Connolly. Son of Steve and Shelly Connolly. What is your best football memory? Beating Andover. Andover. Next up, number 24, Cole Crompton. Son of Casey and Mary Crompton. What will you miss most about playing for the Spuds? Playing with my teammates. Next up, number 26, Olivia. Son of Brian Anderson and Susie Wilson. What is your favorite football saying? Check green. Number 29, kicker Clay Woodland.
Son of Craig and
Nancy Rivland. What is your best football memory? Hitting that 41-yarder at Sartell. Number 33, Clay Hall, son of Kristen Hall. What is your favorite football memory? Watching Otis lay some wood. Number 35, Gavin Brooks Samick, son of Derek and Amanda Brooks Samick. What is your favorite football memory? The locker room and running through the helmet. Number 40, James Eggert, son of Rich and Lisa Eggert. What is your favorite football saying? Bring the juice. Number 52, Gunnar Olstead, son of John and Cassandra Olstead. What will you miss most about playing for the Spuds? Being around my friends. Number 68, Martin Torres, son of Victor and Esmeralda Urzabazo. What is your best favorite memory? The good old dance-off. And number 78, Malik Hickman, son of Heidi Anweiler. What is your favorite football saying? Hustle, hit, and never quit. I want a big round of applause for our seniors and our parents of Moorhead High. Hey, we need a game ball. Delivering tonight's game ball is a longtime Moorhead resident and community servant, Kurt Borgen. All 5 of Kurt and Betty's children graduated from Moorhead, as well as several of their grandchildren. Kurt is a former Moorhead School Board member. He served on the Clay County Conservation Board and served in the Army during the Korean conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kurt Borgen. Raising our flag this evening are the staff and students from Robert Asp Elementary School.
Surprises, including a shutout victory over Brainerd. They've also beaten Alexandria.
I watched a little bit of Sauk Rapids Alex on film earlier today, and I'll tell you what, their defense has really improved.
Tonight we are at Jim Goda Stadium, and as the teams line up and face the flag, we will return with more for tonight's game after this timeout.
Under the direction of Mrs. Pam Redlinger.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you direct your attention to the 50-yard line. Our honorary captain this evening is our Moorhead Superintendent, Dr. Lynn Koresh. A lifelong Spud, Lynn graduated from Moorhead High School in 1970. She was an elementary school teacher at Riverside and became our superintendent in 2008. Earlier this year, Lynn was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and since then, our entire community has been a member of Team Kovash. She will be tossing this evening's coin. The team has an LK sticker on their helmets for support as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Lynn Kovash, once a Spud, always a Spud.
That is anyway. But the lefty came on board and started to show right away that the job was his. 6'2" and 185. Jack Stetz has played virtually every down. There have been a couple of instances in late games that he did not play, but he's also playing the other side of the line.
And I tell you what, you know, we don't probably give him enough credit for what he does at that free safety spot, but he understands how to fill the alley. He also does a great job of defending, and he's had 2 nice interceptions that year that have stopped drives, I should say, for the opponent. He does a nice job back there as free safety.
And of course, when that free safety spot is almost like being the quarterback.
Absolutely.
On that side of the line, along with his offensive duties. So things kind of go through Jack Stetz.
Yeah, they do, and he does a very good job at quarterback this year. He's made good decisions. He's actually, and you don't see this from a high school quarterback very often, but I've actually watched him when he throws the ball away when there's nothing there, and then he also knows when to run at the opportune time.
And plus, he's also on special teams. He's the punter.
He's the punter.
Not always out of punt formation, but he's the punter.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I like a lot better, when they punt out of that and do the quick kick, because they always seem to get the better roll that way than they do when they punt for real back 14 yards.
They seem to get that little pooch kick, and that ends up with a forward roll on it for whatever reasons it is, but that's the way it is. And Alexandria is going to get the football first here tonight, so we'll have a chance right away not only to see their quarterback Michael Empting, but that running back Cody Faber, and he's someone that you're putting right in that category with Otis Weah and Charlie Garrett's from a week ago.
Yeah, I tell you what, they run the same offensive sets that Brainerd did, and they run that zone read type look, and he doesn't have Garrett's backward cut that is, but he finds that seam and he gets his shoulder pad level down and does a real nice job of running that stuff.
Tonight it's Moorhead and Alexandria to finish up this year's football season. The opening kickoff for tonight's game after this timeout.
At defensive tackle, senior number 73, Landon Fisher. At defensive tackle, senior number 57, Cole Chilbert. At defensive end, senior number 74, Jordan Petron. At linebacker, our junior number 47, Titus Chamberlain. At linebacker, senior number 87, Bryce Ludwig. At linebacker, senior number 10, Nathan Lusty. At cornerback, a senior number 8, Cole Wild. At the other corner, a junior number 9, Wade Odland. At free safety, a sophomore, number 39, Andrew Revering.
A little moxie there.
At strong safety, a senior, number 12, Michael Empting. And the rest of the Cardinals from Alexandria, head coach Mike Empting. And now, let's meet your Spuds at Moorhead High. A defensive back, a 6'2" senior captain, number 9, Jack Stetz. Another defensive back, 5'9" senior captain, number 14.
They won the toss of the coin, and we talked about that briefly, Mac. They've decided to take the football with the wind here in the first quarter.
Well, it shows a little moxie on their part that they're pretty confident that they can move the football against wind. But I'll tell you what, if the Spuds are fortunate enough to get a 3 and out, and they got to kick into this wind, because this wind's not usually about this time of night. The wind lets down. We're in a wind warning until tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. They got to kick straight into the tee. So if they can get a 3 and out, Moore should get great field position from that.
But that all is predicated on
got to get a 3 and out.
Got to get 3 and out.
Exactly.
And so that means that the Spud defense will have to do their job in stopping the offense of Michael Empick and Cody Faber and the extremely good core of wide receivers. The game ball tonight was delivered by Dr. Lynn Kovash, who is the superintendent of schools from Moorhead, a Moorhead student herself in her day, and she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer this past spring. And so since that time, people's thoughts and prayers have gone out to the Kovash family in hoping that there will be some way that she can get on top of this thing and recover. She was here tonight to present the game ball to head coach Kevin Feeney, and we couldn't have been more thrilled to see her walk off the field, Denny and her husband right alongside her, hand in hand as they walked off the track. We know that it's not the easiest thing in the world to do under those circumstances.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? She's a pretty tough lady and with great support. And you know what? Danny Kovash was a pretty good Spud football player in his day, too.
He was pretty good. He went on to play at the University of Minnesota, as I understand.
Yes, he did. So. And then he hurt his knee and ended up not playing anymore. But I'll tell you what, I was a little kid. I was kind of a gym rat back then, and I remember watching him going, boy, he's big. And now I look, I'm going, God, you're short.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't grow up very much.
He did get height-wise, nope.
So as we get ready for the start of tonight's game, Alexandria has lined up their return team inside the 10-yard line. Spuds will have the wind at their back here in the first quarter. And as the Spuds tonight, a new look, same uniforms, same set of uniforms, but a new look tonight with their black jerseys and orange numbers, but white pants beneath their black helmets with the orange stripe over the top. We're getting ready to go, and we have seen that Clay Rivlin will now be more full-time duty for the Spuds football team. The soccer team took a tough loss, double overtime loss in their last game in the section semifinals against St. Cloud Tech, and Clay Rivlin now will put his blue shoes to work here on the football field as they get ready to get the game underway. Moorhead 5-2 coming in. Alexandria is 4-3. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Cardinals are coming off an overtime loss to Sauk Rapids 38-36. Moorhead is coming off a hard-fought loss to Brainerd 35-28. And so one of these teams will break a little one-game losing snap, and the winner of tonight's game will be given home field when the playoffs get underway next week. So with the approach, the step forward and the step back, and we'll line it up and kick it now as the Cardinals did make a motion forward just in case. And they're back now inside the 10-yard line for the return. Here's Clay Rivlin, and it's end over end, and it's driven deep, and it's driven all the way deep into the end zone at the 20-yard line. It is first down, Alexandria, with Michael Empting at quarterback, 6 foot and a senior. Cody Faber is the running back. Derek Pipo is in the slot. Josh Wagner and Thomas Anderson, the wide receivers. Bryce Ludwig is the tight end. Brandon Dolman and Drew Steffensmeyer, the tackles. And Calvin Waggy is the tackle, rather. Dolman is at guard along with Josh Jodsis. And Landon Fisher is at center. Spuds front three, Seth Anderson, Landon Berry, Jamison Kozad, finding out before the game tonight that Ali Yunus will not return to the season this year because of a broken foot. And so with this, here's a quick drive down the line, and the Spuds get there, but a nice strong run forward carries it across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and that's one way Cody Faber will defeat the wind.
Yep, and right then and there, they ran inside zone. Larry, he bent that thing all the way back over the right tackle, and the outside linebacker had to come down and make the tackle. He just reads that very well, and Moore's got to get across the face of the offensive lineman.
Slot and receiver wide, far left side as Michael Empting makes the play call. And again, the handoff goes in a nice block scheme right up to the 30-yard line. Spuds try to prevent the first down carry, and it looks from here like it's a left foot mark, which would make him just short. And Faber on that carry does pick up 5 yards, and they give him the right foot mark, and it's a first down. So Cody Faber carrying twice for 10 yards, and a Cardinals first down.
And Anthony Gotti, who we haven't seen a whole lot, is playing that outside linebacker. See, Clay Hall's not in there right now, and he's made both the tackles from his outside linebacker spot.
Empting sends receiver left, wide receiver near right side. Empting waiting in the shotgun, carries it up to the line, and another nice hole opens up for Cody Faber. He picks up 5 and then 6 yards, spotted down at the 36-yard line. 3 straight carries for Cody Faber, and 16 yards rushing, and the Cardinals are moving the ball upfield.
And they are, and right there, again, running inside zone blocking that thing, caving it down. He found that seam, and James Eggert had to come from his outside linebacker spot to make that tackle.
Out of a huddle, this is something that is different. Alexandria does work out of a huddle. Brainerd did not. Wide receiver left, wide receiver near right side. Elk River did not. Waiting for the snap, there it is. And once again, and this time it's Michael Empting, the quarterback, who keeps it. He pulled it away from Faber as he headed for the edge, and Empting then just continued on in. He broke out of the fray, but he was spotted down at the 38-yard line. Short gain for Michael Empting, and the Cardinals now face 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, zone keeper at the time, fake it to the back, and then the quarterback kept it. And that time the linebacker stayed up and made nice tackle.
Well, the players are getting their game shoes tightened up here now in this opening drive, as Michael Empting takes a look off to the far side. Now steps in under center. He's got 10 seconds to put the ball in play. The Spuds show blitz, and Empting himself may have been stopped as he came up to the line of scrimmage to take the snap under center. That indicated to the Spuds he was going to run it, and they stacked things up right in the middle with the stop short of the 40-yard line, but it is just enough. By inches, it is just enough, and so that strong run by Michael Empting gives Alexandria a 3rd straight first down.
And nice job by the Spuds too, Larry, because he had to fight for every inch, but they got in almost through a gap 6. As soon as he got under center, the linebackers all tightened up, both linebackers in the A gaps, and he spun around at the last second to get that first down.
So the chains move on for the Cardinals. And now with backs either side of quarterback Michael Empting, receivers left and right as well. Cardinals going left to right. Nice hole opens up for Faber. He breaks loose to the outside at midfield and more. He high-stepped his way through the first line of defense, all the way through the second line of defense, out of bounds with a penalty flag down.
We're going to see a late hit that time. That time they ran outside zone. He busted out right away. Jack got across, made the tackle, and then somebody came in just a little bit late, Larry. Got him on the sideline. I think that's going to be a late hit against the Spuds. And the referees are still talking about it, and they haven't given us an indication yet, but that's about the only, personal foul.
Personal foul is the call against Moorhead. So everything so far for Cardinals falling their way with a strong run game led by Cody Faber. And now a penalty against the Spuds, and the ball has been marched inside the 25, and they're going to take it all the way down to the 22-yard line. And from there, the Cardinals have a first down. So maybe it wasn't such a bad idea to take the ball to start things out.
Well, you know, they know what they want to do, and they're confident in what they're doing. When you watch what they've done during the week or in the last 5 games, they haven't been stopped yet.
Wide receivers, 2 to the far left, 1 on the near right side. The backfield men shift and split. Faber is right alongside on the left side. Here's Michael Empting. With the play call, he follows his blockers in. He got spun around, managed to backpedal his way loose and go all the way down to the 16-yard line. So that's a 6-yard gain for quarterback Michael Empting. And after 7 plays and a penalty, the Cardinals have taken it from their own 20-yard line all the way down to the Spuds 17-yard line, and that's red zone offense for the Cardinals.
Absolutely, and that time they just went zone keeper where he fakes his zone read. Back follows up on the linebacker. Moore stacked that up pretty good and just barely missed a tackle to get him for a loss.
And to this point, every play has been a running play. As the Cardinals switch their offenses now, receivers left and right, slots left and right. Here's Michael Empting. Back to pass in his first pass of the night to Faber with the catch and then a hit down at the 12-yard line. Colton Creer came over on the defense as he was picked off the play initially by Thomas Anderson of Alexandria. That allowed the catch and then the run down to the 12-yard line. Very, very close to a first down.
Well played by Colton Creer, too, Larry. They went bubble screen. He did what he's supposed to do. He got outside leverage, turned that thing inside, and Otis from his safety spot came in and made the tackle. Really, it was a nice defense by the Spuds, but that doggone bubble screen can be hard to stop sometimes.
And with that, the chains are being brought onto the field for a measurement. And as they come on, that's how close it is. Spotted just inside the 12-yard line. Alexandria has taken the opening kickoff to this point. Chains are marked down and stretched. And just an inch away, 2 inches maybe, for an Alexandria first down, and they still have 2 plays coming. It's a third and less than a foot.
Yeah.
And don't be surprised to see Michael Empting.
Don't be surprised, and don't be surprised to watch Mr. Faber run the ball here too. And again, all their passing is so far is going to be predicated off of play action, so the Spuds, have to watch for that too. But I think we're going to see some type of inside zone play here.
Right at the 12-yard line, they need just inches. Back in shotgun formation, still Michael Empting, the quarterback. Pistol formation with running back right alongside him on the left side. Play clock is underway. Now we're ready to go. Cardinals threatening early. Here's the snap, and it is quarterback Michael Empting. But I think he got there. He slanted off, and he had a great hole open. I thought he was going to dance his way in, but the Spuds caught up to him, and very close to what they needed. He needed about 4 inches, and I think he got 6. Yep. And that's just enough to keep the chains moving forward.
Yep, they ended up faking this inside zone. Then he had a keeper on the outside, and James Eggert, who does such a nice job that outside linebacker spot, caved in, and then Moorhead's Jack Stetz came over the top from his safety spot and stopped him. I mean, he didn't get that by much. It's a nice defensive play.
Conceivably 8 plays from this point. At the 11-yard line, it's first down, Alexandria. A long look across by Empting. Now he's set and ready. Receiver strong to the near right side, and the snap goes over his head. He reaches to pull it down. He picks it up and then is pursued off to the far sideline and carried out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So that will go as about a 7-yard loss, maybe an 8-yard loss on the play on a high snap from center.
Yep, and I tell you, the Spuds did a nice job of rallying to that, but they were trying to tackle the ball, and they could have had him for a lot bigger loss, but he did a nice job of getting out of there. But nice rally by the Spuds, and fortunate for them, they got a little break there on that high snap.
Waiting to see. There may have been a flag thrown down as well. We're waiting to see if it's a forward motion that they're indicating, or whether he stepped out of bounds is where they're indicating.
Face mask.
And we do have a face mask on the tackle then, I suspect. There were 4, maybe 5 players in on that play for Moorhead. Not at all surprising to see that there was a hand in the face mask area. Now that also means a 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Yep. Well, no, not if it's the 5-yard variety, then it shouldn't be an automatic first down.
Well, not automatic. It's already first down, so it'd be 1st and 5.
But it's from the spot.
Well, let's take it. They've spotted it right now at the 12-yard line.
So first.
That's right back where they were.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Son of a gun.
So the loss basically results in no play.
Yeah, it's
a wash. 1st and 10 again from the 12-yard line. Running back shift sides and either side of Empting. Receiver left, receiver near right side. A third receiver in the slot far left. Waiting for the snap. Empting, hands off Faber. And the Spuds are there. Stopping the play maybe at the 11-yard line. Cody Faber that time. Spuds had an eye on him. Wrapped him up, brought him down 1 yard on the no yards. Nope. Nothing gained on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I'll tell you, Seth Anderson, the sophomore, Larry, he got through on. It looked like he was on a slant and beat across that tackle's face, made first contact. Then the linebacker stepped up and really did a nice job. But Seth Anderson made that play go.
Just a sophomore, Seth Anderson is also going to see duty tonight on the offensive line. Faber now sets up in the slot, far left side. With the formation change, here's Michael Empting. Rolling near side to look. He's being chased. He gets away. He's being chased. He leans back and throws. High up into the air. He was way out of bounds. He may have made the catch, but he was way out of bounds on the play. And Otis Weah on that far side is very much involved passionately and emotionally, and he shows his excitement for the result of that play that brings up 3rd down.
And Riley Schock wants that back there. He actually came on an inside blitz after the fake, had him in his sights, and just missed him. And he was fortunate. The quarterback was fortunate to get that away. But you know what? Otis did a nice job of recovering and make sure. And that was a nice job recovering from the D-back because he was open initially.
This drive has already taken 6 minutes of time.
Wow.
Opening kickoff has been brought down after 6 minutes to the Spuds 12-yard line. As Empting sets in the pocket and throws. He throws it deep, he throws it high, he throws it away, and it's 4th down. That pass simply had too much air underneath it. To the end line is where it was thrown. No chance for anybody to catch up to it, and it's 4th down.
Yep, and boy, he was open. They ran a little where the twins, one twin went outside. The outside receiver came under. It's almost like a pick play, but it's legal. Otis kind of got rubbed off, and he couldn't recover. Fortunate for the Spuds, he threw that thing high.
Big play to start tonight's contest. 4th down from the Spuds 12-yard line. Empting. Here's the play back. Looking upfield with time. Flushed out of the pocket and looking. Being chased and still looking. Now leans it and it's thrown into the end zone and knocked away.
31.
That will go Anthony Angadi coming up with a big defensive play. And so the Cardinals drive 88 yards and come away with nothing on the scoreboard, giving the ball back to Moorhead.
And I'll tell you what, nice job by the Spuds there. They came on a blitz, outside blitz, and with James. He got picked up, but enough pressure to flush him out of the pocket. They had good coverage, and what I really like what Angadi did, Larry, he knocked it down. He didn't try to catch it.
So with that, the Spuds take over. This drive starting at their 12-yard line. After some very good running plays by the Cardinals, their drive stops at the 12. Jack Stetz will take a look at the rest of their offensive unit in a moment.
Officials are talking.
And the officials have still not declared ball ready to go as they are looking at the sideline now.
Each team has their own
balls.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. They are bringing on the Moorhead ball now for use.
Yeah, but they're all the same ball. But you got ours in there. You got to do it that way.
We don't want anybody to mess with it.
Well, the quarterback, he knows the feel of his own footballs.
We don't want we don't want to have Vaseline spread all over it.
We used to go through the same thing back there, yeah.
So the Alexandria ball has been tossed off to the side. The Moorhead ball has been brought onto the field. And it's first on Moorhead at their own 12-yard line. Jack Stetz will stand back, shotgun formation, wing left, wing right. And in motion, steps back. And here's the snap, and that's high. And Alexandria is there for the recovery. The snap back was too high for Stetz. It bounced down in front of him. Moorhead does not get a play away and give the ball back to Alexandria.
When to get it over his head is something, because when he's got his
with a good vertical.
with a good vertical, and he knocked it forward. And both he and Otis tried to get it, and you don't know what that ball's going to do. It bounced straight back towards the Alex side, and they didn't have a shot at it, and that's just too bad. Little exuberance from the center that time, because he hasn't had hardly any bad snaps since about the first week.
Yeah, Gunnar Olsted is a solid performer at that spot,
yes, sir.
But tonight that one just simply got away. So the Spuds defense quickly back onto the field as Michael Empting back on. We have gone inside of 6 minutes to go. And for all intents and purposes, the Alexandria drive continues. Here is Empting with the pitch out on the near side, and the Spud defense has found their cleats. Otis Wuya with a big tackle behind the line of scrimmage. At the 13-yard line, it's a loss of 1.
And they came out, ran speed option that time, and the outside linebacker's job, and that time on that side it was Anthony Angadi. He forced the pitch, and nice job, I call it, running the alley by Otis. Otis got in the alley and made a sure tackle and fit for him and dropped him for a little bit of loss. That's a nice job by those two players.
We mentioned early on that Ali Yunus is not available tonight, and with a broken foot that is likely not to return this season. Jamison Kozat then will get more extended duty. Back to pass and looking, and off his heels, thrown into the end zone. It is deflected and knocked away. Otis Wuya again was involved. He stepped right in front. His deflection still gave the receiver a chance, but could not find a handle on it, and it brings up 3rd down.
I tell you, the Moorhead coaches are in tune with what's going on too, Larry. They brought Riley Schock on an A-gap blitz, which made him through, and they went play action. Riley did not bite on that play action, got his hands up, so he had to throw it over, and nice recovery again by Otis and knock it down.
With the exception of one snap here in the first quarter, of the 7 minutes played, it has belonged to Alexandria. And no score.
Wow.
Try it again. Back to pass and looking. Empting floats near side. He's being chased and steps out of bounds near the 14-yard line. And that is a loss as he was continuing to look to the end zone. Michael Empting thought he had someone, and he did a little double clutch just as he stepped out of bounds, and that brings up 4th down.
They brought James Eggert on an outside blitz from Moorhead's right. He was going, and that was a straight drop back. He flushed him out to the right. Nice job by the Spuds of feathering that out. Obviously a great coverage downfield. He had nobody to throw to, and he had to step out of bounds for. That's just a huge play. Nice job, but the Spuds have kind of rebounded from that first series on defense.
Derek Peepo has checked in. He's wide out near right side. Faber goes into the slot left. Empting is all alone in the backfield on 4th down, and his play will come after a timeout has been taken. The Cardinals will reload with 4:52 to go in the first quarter. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead nothing, Alexandria nothing.
As mentioned earlier, what elementary school did Dr. Lynn Kovac work at in our district before he was the superintendent? 701-261-7100, your answer, and you can win a shirt.
This would be in.
Stop him here! On the line!
It is there, and he makes the catch. Touchdown. A perfectly thrown ball, and over the shoulder. It was into no man's land. It was one-on-one. The reception made in Alexandria. In spite of using, 10 plays from the 12-yard line and in, get one to go, and it's 6-0.
Yeah, big 4th down reception for them. I'll tell you what, the inside receiver ran an inside corner route, and that's tough, especially.
For the point after, the try is blocked, and so it stays 6-0. The Spuds will return a kickoff when we return with 4:46 to go in the first quarter. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, Alexandria 6 and Moorhead nothing.
We did have a winner for our trivia. It was Riverside Elementary School. Catherine Eggert was the first one to respond correctly. You win a shirt from Steele for the Spuds. Thanks for playing. Spuds Trivia.
Snap from the line of scrimmage at their own 10-yard line. Lost it when it was high and bobbled and recovered Alexandria later to score. Now the Spuds have a whole lot better situation out across the 45-yard line.
Yeah, they got great field position. They just got to flush what happened on their one only attempt at playing offense and just get back after it. And a big block, so a score here makes it 7-6. Things are looking positive.
So Jack Stett sends his receiving core wide out to the far side. Now the double shift that brings the tight end and a wing player to the near side. Handoff goes to Otis Weah. He tries to bust his, oh my, across midfield to the 49-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain when he was stacked up and nearly dropped that 1-yard gain. 5 yards for Otis Weah.
There's a case they put Otis in motion and they end up running ISO to the left, and Moorhead's Riley Schock was trying to block the linebacker. Got the block, turned around. Otis ran right over him, said, "Get out of my way," and picked up another yard. It was his own guy he ran over. Riley initially got the linebacker, and he just ran him over because Riley didn't know who else to block.
Peter Narum goes out wide, far side. It is 2nd and 5. As Jack Stett takes the snap. A bit high, but he pulls it down and rifles it out to the far side for Narum. And he has about a 3-yard pickup at the 46-yard line. Make it the 46-yard line, and the Spuds now face 3rd and 2.
Yep, nice, and that's kind of a bread and butter play for the Spuds, Larry, where he's in shotgun, takes 3 steps back and run that timing route. That time he ran a 5-yard hitch. Did the right thing, tried to turn outside and get extra yards, and the corner did a nice job of coming up to his outside shoulder so he couldn't get anything extra.
3rd and 2, Moorhead, trailing 6-0, play running, first quarter. Spuds going right to left. Wind is at their back. Handoff. And the first down gotten by Otis Weah to the 41-yard line. That's a 4-yard pickup as he sliced through the blocking right at the line of scrimmage and picked up 4, and it's first down.
And that's kind of a different version of how to run power. That time Terrence Weah is lined up as the outside back, I should say. He led up on the linebacker. They pulled the back guard, kicked out, and of course Otis, he knew where that first down was, and then he got extra.
Jason Sanders in the lineup now wide, far right side. Ethan Hoff on the near side. Again the tight end and wing. And again a high snap, but this time it's pulled down, and Stett's being chased, manages to throw it to the near sideline. They're looking for intentional grounding, but I think that there's a play that if you are outside of a certain area, now I may be mixing up rules between professional and college and high school, but no flag has been thrown because I think he was outside of that certain area and he threw it in and maybe even had a receiver in the area.
Peter Narum had got back, so he was only about 5 yards away, but normally if the ball doesn't cross the line of scrimmage, then that becomes intentional grounding, but because there was a receiver there, because they both officials huddled up and said, yep, there he was.
So it'll go as an incompletion, and it's 2nd down. Good pursuit by Alexandria on the play. Counter play back to the near side. A nice cut upfield, and then wrapped up and brought down. And one way we learned early on, one way to make a play stop is to put it back onto the field of play. And with that, Bryce Ludwig from his middle linebacker or inside linebacker position for the Cardinals made the big stop, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, he's playing middle linebacker. Moore tried to run power that way, had everything done, but he scraped across and did a nice job. Not very often you see somebody actually grab Otis and stop him for right in his tracks, and he did. That was a nice play by him.
Trailing 6-0. The Spuds are down at the Alexandria 36-yard line. It's 3rd and long. Man in motion to the near side, gets the handoff. Otis Weah lowers his pads and then got stood up and dropped down. His forward motion at the 34-yard line.
The ball carrier.
And
stopped on the play by Jansen.
It'll be 4th down and about a yard. Give Otis Weah 3 yards on that pickup.
Again, Moorhead tried to run. Basically, it's an isolation play with the fullback leading up. And I'll tell you, Larry, that big 87
Ludwig he's a monster.
Oh, he got up underneath and stopped him up again. And again, that's 2 times out of the last 3 plays where he's actually caught Otis and stopped him.
Spuds are taking a timeout as they come onto the field. They've got a big play coming. 1:39 to go, opening quarter on the Speakeasy scoreboard. Alexandria 6, Moorhead nothing.
Tonight is our Tackle Cancer Night, which was started by the Minnesota Football Coaches Association 5 years ago. The CAP team has raised to date over $1 million for cancer research and patient aid in Minnesota. Coming up later tonight, tackle, cancer. With their touchdown, it's their company of only $100 to Spuds football. Thank you, Medicare Company. On for the Spuds. Olstead, the long snap to set. River to kick. And the kick is good.
Actually, doggone it, Larry, that was Riley Schock.
Everybody clap your hands.
We'll straighten it out.
Bugs me.
I don't know. I can't tell those numbers.
I know, it just bugs me, though. But, you know,
Back at Jim Goda Stadium, Riley Schock threw the key block, and Otis Weah threw the key run on that 35-yard reception and scored.
well, it's great. Riley pinned him up against the sideline, so Otis came back in, but then he got right back outside. And then, of course, when he sees the goal line, he got that executed and scored. But that was just a nice job out there off that bubble screen to make that work. What a great call on 4th down.
7-6 now Moorhead, as the Spuds kickoff will come, and they will kick it away. The last time they booted it, it was into the end zone. The Cardinals then turned it around and put together an 88-yard scoring drive, but it took some doing. And at that point led 6-0. Spuds have come back. Now Clay Riblin. Let's see if he approaches and stops. He does. He'll drop back and now line up the kickoff as the Cardinals go back deep. They are waiting inside the 10-yard line just in case that's as far as it goes. I'm expecting that Clay Riblin will hit the end zone again. And as he does, it comes down at the 2, and there it's dropped into the end zone. And for even though it was touched and muffed, it will be called a touchback there and brought out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, anytime that there's a muff like that, and he's on a 2, and they call it continuation of the ball continued on into the end zone. So once, and then in high school football, once the ball hits the end zone, it's a dead ball.
The crowd, of course, wanted something else on that play, but
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know that the officials think that most of us coaches don't know the rules. That one I know. And the officials are right, by the way.
Well, and I've also understood that radio announcers do know all the rules. So.
Yeah, not very often.
Huh? 7-6 Moorhead, Alexandria football, their own 20-yard line. They move left to right and into the wind. Wide receivers, far left side for Michael Empting. Standing still, the handoff goes to Faber, and he crosses the 21, maybe the 22-yard line. That's a 2-yard pickup there. Cardinals now face 2nd down.
It's kind of neat, Larry. We get to see James Eggert playing inside back at this time. That time, Moorhead's right defensive tackle got all the way down, our young guy. Seth Anderson came all the way down, made first contact, and a nice fill by James that time and stopped him for a short gain. That might be only the 2nd time so far that they've run that inside zone and kept it down to that minimum.
2nd down and 8 now Cardinals. 2 receivers, wide out far left side, single receiver near side. Here's the snap and the look and the toss out to the far side, and right there the Spuds, although the pass was completed, had him double teamed at the point of reception, and the stop is made at the 28-yard line, and the Cardinals face 3rd down.
I don't know if I'm right or not, but the trailing receiver, the outside receiver that time, 29,
Derek People
was actually trailing. It almost looked like they were trying to run a hook and ladder.
So with that, the Cardinals facing a crucial play on this drive, trying to draw the Spuds offside with a hard head count. It's 3rd and 2 and emptying. Steps up, now steps back and waits for the snap. Still hoping to draw the Spuds offside, who are standing still. Moorhead now making some movement, but with that, there's the game clock has run down to 0. And I think the timeout got called just in time, as the Cardinals will talk this over. And the first quarter has come to a close. We'll switch ends of the field after 1 quarter of play. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 7 and Alexandria 6.
They help read the morning announcements and also assist during the Spud meetings. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the student leaders at Providence Elementary School.
Great listenership online on WGAY, AM and 93.1 FM, coming to you in Carolina and Florida and in the Easy Chair in South Moorhead. Here's a nice run up the 35 to about the 37-yard line, and anytime the ball is run, it is Cody's favor, and he's got the first down.
Yeah, they ran the inside zone that time, and the way they blocked it, they were able to pick off the play side linebacker, and there was a nice alley, and he didn't miss that alley at all. And you know, he's a little bit bigger back than the kid from Brainerd last week, so when he gets his pad level done, you really got to get in front of him.
9-yard pickup on the play out to the 32. Wide receivers, far right side. Pistol formation. Carries it down on the near side and then pulls it away and keeps it himself. And Michael Empting was brought down. And Jamison Kozad, they call him Cozy, was there for the stop. No gain, maybe a yard at most on the play. Kozad with the big stop.
Yeah, they tried to run the zone keeper where he faked the zone. He comes back left, and Moorhead would have not done it. Jamison Kozad got across the center's face. Moorhead also ran an inside blitz with the outside linebacker, which also caused problems. So they had that play pretty well covered, but nice job by Kozad getting across.
Just underway, second quarter. Moorhead with a 7-6 lead. Alexandria with the football. It is Faber. He gets to the outside and he's going to go. He's at the 40, one man to beat at the 30, and finally got angled out near the 20-yard line. Did not have quite the jet speed to get all the way around the corner before the Spuds caught up, and Jack Stetz brings him down.
Yep, Jack took a good angle because he was a safety on the side. Again, that time they ran outside zone, and he found that alley, busted it inside, then got outside. Nice block, by their big 87, Ludwig, who plays a tight end. A nice job by Jack tracking him down.
42 yards on that pickup for Cody Faber. And it's first down now deep, and it's at the red zone for the Cardinals. Trailing 7-6, and now we can understand, as we understood better last week after play from Brainerd, why their games get so many points involved. They simply can run the football.
They really can, and I think Alex called a timeout, Larry, but they've got that.
Well, we've got a false start that's been issued against the Cardinals, so that's a 5-yard penalty, and that's their first kind of mistake in that regard for tonight's game.
Yeah. Oh, you know what they did is that they ended up, okay, I see what they're calling. They brought the tight end up on the line of scrimmage, and number 4 backed up at the wrong time, so they didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage. He didn't understand, so he thought 87 was covered, but they're in a what's called a trips formation, but the tight end's not eligible.
Josh Wagner is the wide receiver near side. Derek Peepo inside of him. Wide receiver far right side on 1st and 15. First man in, and the Spuds are there and waiting, and it's Bulldog down. Spuds defense since the first. they like to flex their muscles just a bit as Riley Schock brought that one down.
Yep, and nice job by both tackles that time. Both tackles got across the face of the opposing lineman, so when he cut it back, there was nothing there. And then when James Eggert decides to tackle you, or Riley Schock,
you're going to go down.
Yep, and they did a great job of filling that gap.
Since the opening drive in which the Spuds allowed and Alexandria forced their way upfield almost at will, things have tightened up just a bit. Back to pass and looking off to the far side. The catch is made there and then rushed out of bounds near the 17-yard line. So nice catch along the far side, but for short yardage, about a 7-yard pickup, and it's third down.
Nice job by Colton Kerr, Larry. He's the corner on that side. They ran a 5-yard hitch. He's got to make sure he stays back till somebody comes. He broke on the ball and made an immediate tackle, so it was a nice pitch and catch, but a nice job by Colton keeping outside leverage and stopping that for a short gain.
Once the ball is inside the 20-yard line, the going has been tough for the Cardinals here as they trail at 7-6. Now 3rd and 9, awaiting the red and white. Off to the far side, then looking upfield and tossing one to the end zone, but it's incomplete. It was overthrown. He had a man down and waiting, Bryce Ludwig, who also plays tight end for the Cardinals, along with his inside linebacker spot. And once again, the Cardinals face a 4th down. 4th down and deep.
How about that? They ran a kind of fake, like they're running speed option. He stood back, and what the secondary had nothing to do with it. They stayed on receivers. And I tell you, that's Otis covering that big tight end, and he overthrew him. Otis is on him, but the tight end's got about 6-inch reach on him, but nice job and nice coverage.
7-6 Moorhead. Alexandria, 4th down, 4th and 8. Timeout taken, play stops, and we will return to Jim Goda Stadium after this break on the Speakeasy scoreboard. Moorhead 7 and Alexandria 6.
Who is now coaching for the Spuds. 2 enemies, now friends. What coach, what a jackrabbit, is now coaching the Spuds. Text answer, 701-261-7100.
With 4th down waiting for the Cardinals, they come off the far sideline and take up their positions at the Spuds 19-yard line. Line to gain the 10. Receivers far right side. 3 receivers now near left side and all alone. Michael Empting in the backfield. Waiting for the snap, he gets it. He's being chased. He's going to have to hustle to throw, and working to the near sideline. He escapes for a moment, leans back and throws up into the air, and it's overthrown at the end line. What a great job by Michael Empting to be patient and wait. In spite of the oncoming pressure, he found a man in the end zone, but overthrew him.
I'll tell you what, they came with the blitz with Riley Schock that time, Larry. He chased him out of the pocket. He ran, and then at the last second, here comes James Eggert off the edge and gets in front of him, and he had to throw that off his back foot. Moore had pretty good coverage downfield. That's a huge 4th down play by the Spuds. Wow.
1st down for the Spuds now at the 19-yard line. This has the makings of just one great championship-style football game as Ethan Hoff checks into the Spuds lineup.
Put your seatbelt on, everybody. It's going to be a nice ride.
Jack Stetz will step in under center. Wing left, wing right. Stetz at his own 19-yard line turns and then looks off to the near side. He's got it on himself. He cuts inside a would-be tackle and goes down at the 25, rolling to the 26-yard line. And when they saw that it was Jack Stetz carrying, all of a sudden Cole Childers was right there and on his behind to make the play and make the stop. But still a good run upfield by Jack Stetz.
Well, they went with the naked boot that time where it's a run, and what I liked is when he made the fake Both inside linebacker and outside linebacker headed to the right. He came around. Ethan Hoff tried to get a block on a safety and couldn't quite get there, but that's still a big 6 or 7 yard gain.
6 yards on the pickup, and it's 2nd down and 4. Rolling out left. Jack Stetz now leans and throws. He's got his man open. He finds Terrence Weah at about the 31-yard line. The Spuds needed 4. Weah with the reception gets 6, and it's 1st down Moorhead.
Nice play again. Play action went boot that time, and so you got 3 different levels. You got the deep receiver and a deep out, tight ends on and under, and then Weah in the flat. And he made sure he got the 1st down. He looked deep, looked middle, and finally gave it to him. And Terrence, nice sure hands that time. Larry, big 1st down.
He has become a very productive receiver coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, and he's hard to find, you know, because when they run that play action and sneaks out, you know, between the guard and tackle, he's hard to find.
1st down Moorhead now at their own 32-yard line, holding a 7-6 lead. Rolling out left, Jack Stetz in some trouble. Did get back to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage, and that was all. They're having some difficulties tonight with that high snap, and that one went high too, but was manageable. And Jack Stetz was able to pull it down, and they actually will go down for a loss of a yard on the play, and it's 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, it still messes up the timing of the play because, again, they were trying to run the naked boot after the fake, and it was kind of boom, boom. Nobody bid on it. They had good outside leverage. Their corner came off the edge, turned it back inside, and Jack was fortunate to get almost back to the original line of scrimmage. That's just a nice job of keeping position by their defense.
Less than 7.5 minutes to play in the opening half. Moorhead leading at 7-6, moving upfield. Here is Otis Weah, and the Cardinals are spotted him. They've got a pretty good eye of where he is and where he's going, and the stop for a short gain, maybe 2 yards on the play, out near the 33-yard line.
And you can see Ludwig getting off the bottom of the pile again from his inside linebacker spot, tried to run the power play to the left, and he just scrapes very well, checks all the gaps, and he comes up and makes a sure tackle for only about a 3-yard gain, but a good defensive play.
Ball spotted now at the 34, just short of the 35-yard line. 3rd down coming. Both teams run-oriented, and so the wind that we knew would be a factor tonight has been a factor in that regard. There just hasn't been many passes. There haven't been very many passes, and so before this play got underway, Kevin Feeney rolls onto the field with a timeout call. Play has stopped with 6.5 minutes to go in the 1st half. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead 7, Alexandria 6.
Could be about a 4-yard punt. Uh-oh. North Carolina. She's so funny.
Back at Jim Goda Stadium. 2 Section 8 rivals battling it out here tonight in the final game of the regular season. Alexandria scored first. Moorhead came back, got the point after, lead at 7-6 as Jack Stetz goes over the middle. He's got his man. Has he got enough speed? He is caught from behind, but carries it all the way down to the 15-yard line as Cole Crompton in stride. A post pattern complete, and it's 1st down Moorhead.
What a nice throw. I tell you what, right where it needed to be. I was watching James Zegert go across on a crossing route. He actually got tackled by the big middle linebacker, which left a nice throwing lane for Jack, and he put that thing right on the spot.
As nice a passes he's throwing this year.
Yes, sir.
Jack Stetz right on the money for Cole Crompton, and the Spuds all of a sudden find themselves at the Cardinal 15-yard line. Double shift off to the near right side. Strong now there. Here's the handoff to Otis Weah. Little shoulder fake left and dive right. He lowered his shoulders, and he runs low to the ground anyway.
Oh.
And when he lowered his shoulders, he not only ran into but over the would-be tackler and escaped and got inside the 10, down at the 9-yard line.
Again, a high snap, so he got the ball late. It was supposed to be power inside. He broke it outside. Their corner, Cole Wild, literally was down at his ankles, and Otis got low enough to run him over backwards. That poor kid's going, what do I got to do?
You can't go any lower either.
No, unless you get underneath the turf, and that's tough to do.
I can't do that. 2nd down and 2. Jack Stetz with a handoff left side.
Otis.
And it is Otis Weah, and that play is never over. As they dive into the line of scrimmage and move forward, it just seems to continue moving and wiggling and squirming. And all of a sudden, it's 1st and goal, Moorhead at the 3-yard line.
Yep, nice job. They ran ISO to the left out of normal backs. Terrence Weah got up on that big middle linebacker, Ludwig, and did a nice job on him. Otis saw that, stayed on that plane, and it took the whole secondary to come in and bring him down. But he still moved that pile for about an extra 2 to 3, I believe.
From the 3-yard line, Moorhead 1st down, 1st and goal, Spuds. In motion near side, Otis Weah. He gets the handoff, he cruises into the line, but the line is pretty well plugged up, and it will go as a 1-yard gain for Weah at the 2-yard line. It is 2nd down.
And that time they put Otis in motion, Larry, and they ran ISO to the right. They were actually in a gap 6 where they had 6 linemen on line of scrimmage with the linebacker and the safety in the gap, and there's not a lot of room, but he still found it for a couple of yards.
They have spotted it actually inside the 1-yard line. And from there, 2nd and goal. Let's see if Jack Stetz will keep it himself. With men in motion, it is Stetz off to the left side, and it goes to Otis Weah. And waiting to see, there's the touchdown signal, 6 for the Spuds. We were watching the one official right at the point of tackle, thinking there might have been a fumble and the ball loose, but the official on the near side signaled that he had crossed over, and the Spuds have tacked on.
He actually turned around and looked at the side official. When he saw the side official called touchdown, he got out of the way. But I like what Jack did. They ran ISO to the right after the handoff. Jack booted out, and he actually pulled that safety out there, but Otis was not going to be denied.
So for the point after, Clay Rivland approaches, and the kick is on its way up. And it is good. He just got it inside the left upright. Spuds come back and score 2 in a row with 4:51 now showing in the first half. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 14, Alexandria 6.
Look for him to kick to an open spot.
Everybody up for the kickoff.
Against the wind. That's huge.
Back for the
Oh, by the way, Magic pass play, and that covered about 6.
Well, the irony of a football game is that in spite of a strong wind blowing in your face, you can still throw the football, and the Spuds did and moved the ball upfield eventually to score and now lead it 14-6. Here's the approach by Clay Rivland, and he'll do it again as the Cardinals up deep just in case he decided to pooch it into the middle of the field. They stand back now at the 5, and Clay Rivland will kick this one into a very strong breeze. It is kicked low. That gives it a chance. It bounces at the 25. It takes a true bounce, and here's the return. 35, 40, still on his feet and running. Still on his feet and running across the 45, and they say he stopped down there, although the play continued another 15 yards. The blocking was another 15 yards upfield, but the knee down at the 45, Cardinals with great field position now on this possession.
That's a nice job by them. They're Daniel Jansen, their backup tight end, fielded that. And I'll tell you what, for a tight end, he showed some nice running skills that time. He broke a couple blocks, tried to get back into that little wedge that they tried to set up with the pooch kick, and he return that thing about 20 yards because he picked that up about the 30, so 15-yard gain. That's a nice return, and that was a big kid to bring down.
4:45 remaining in the first half. Moorhead now with a 14-6 lead. Alexandria on the return, going right to left. Wind at their back in case they want to go deep. Receiver left, receiver right for Michael Empting. Back to pass and looking. Swings one out to the far side all alone at the Spuds 45-yard line. Still on his feet. Faber finally goes. And he is flung out of bounds, waiting to see if there might be a flag, but no, none coming. And a nice big pass play once again to Cody Faber and a Cardinals first down.
It was actually Ludwig.
Okay, was that the tight end?
Yep, that's big tight end, and it was a two-man route. The outside guy went deep. He ran a 10-yard out, got behind the outside linebacker, and then he showed his power. You see why he's playing both ways. Wow.
Receiver right and left now for Empting, as Ludwig's reception has given the Cardinals a first down near the 26. Carries the ball up to the line, and then the handoff. Spuds are waiting for the play, and they make the stop.
Faber, the ball carrier.
Landon Berry has worked his way back onto the field now for the Spuds, replacing Tristan Deere on this next play. It's second down at 9, Cardinals.
Nice job by the Spuds that time. Their front three made sure they collapsed that down, so when he cut back, the linebackers were able to clean up. Nice job by the front three.
Let's see what Empting has in mind on this second and 9 play. Snap is back, and Empting rolls near side. It's an option. He'll keep it himself, and then nearly had the ball stripped away, but he hangs on tight, and he goes down at the 23-yard line. And with a nice little help back onto his feet, it is now third down for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they went speed option that time. Moore did a good job. The corner, and I see Colton Creer took the pitch away. He had to go, and then nice job. That was Jack coming from his safety spot. Larry run in the alley, saw what happened, came up, and that was a nice form-fit tackle. He stopped him right in his tracks.
The receivers did not check in at the huddle. They were already in their position far out to the right as the Cardinals on 3rd and 5 carry it into the line, and it is Faber breaking loose. He takes a hit from behind and gains another 2-3 yards inside the 10-yard line. Nice hole opened up at the line of scrimmage. Leading the way was Brandon Dolman. He is another two-way player for the Cardinals as he opened up a spot, and Faber was able to carry it all the way down to the 10-yard line.
And again, when they zone block like that, there's an alley, and after the first back made the block, he cut right behind him and saw that alley, and he hugged that the whole way.
Closing in on 3 minutes to go here in the opening half. Spuds with a 14-6 lead, but the Cardinals are threatening as they spot it at the 10-yard line. Long count for Michael Empting. Carries it to the line, and the tight end Bryce Ludwig leads the way up for Michael Empting, who follows him inside the 5, and they'll spot it at the 4-yard line.
And that's something. They have him in the backfield and becomes a quarterback isolation play, and that is a big guy coming in on that linebacker. And
you'll remember this, and some other Spud fans too will remember Steve Tobin taking that spot at fullback.
Yep, that's when I played.
Yeah, leading the way in.
Yeah, he's just a little guy at 6'5" and 260.
Was that all he was?
Yeah, he was just a little guy.
Yeah. Protecting backs on either side of Michael Empting. And again, it is Empting, this time on the keeper following his offensive line. This time stopped at the 3-yard line, and that brings up third down.
Again, nice job. They collapsed that down. It's the quarterback or zone read keeper, if you may, where he fakes it, follows that back right at that time. Again, nice job by Tristan Deere and company collapsing that down and not leaving a lot of room for him to cut back into, but another big third down and fourth down.
Not an unusual situation for the Cardinals here in the first half, 3rd or 4th inside the 5-yard line. But trailing it 14-6. Empting steps up, then steps back, waits for the snap. There it is, and he'll take it himself, but the Spuds break through, and the stop is made. Oh, what a big play by Anthony Angotti, and he has earned his stripes tonight. With that stop, it brings up 4th down.
That was huge, and Gotti, seeing that they were running speed option, he's got outside leverage. He didn't even worry about that. Once he saw the quarterback, he came up and he stopped him, I believe, for about a half-a-yard loss.
They've put it back now at the 4-yard line. Clock is running. This play will get underway with 1 minute to go in the half. Back again in pistol formation, Michael Empting. He takes a short visit with Cody Faber. As he waits for the snap, here it is. Rolling right. Here's the pitch, and it's Faber all alone into the end zone. A nice little read option to the far side, and there was nobody covering on Cody Faber, who goes in for the score. And now Alexandria needs a 2-point conversion to tie.
And that was a nice play call there. They went speed option to the right. The outside receiver just took the corner out of there. Jack, coming from his safety spot, he had to make a choice because it was only him left. Am I going to take the quarterback or am I going to take the pitch? As he took the quarterback, he got the pitch. Nice lane. Nice play call, nice and execution also.
For the tie, Michael Empting. Back in shotgun formation. Works on the reverse. Spuds come up to meet the play and stop the play at the 3-yard line, but a penalty flag is down.
It's going to be
the reverse going to Derek Peepo. And it looked like he had a clear alley into the end zone, but the Spuds read it, covered it, played it, tackled it. And the penalty holding against Alexandria declined, and the Spuds hang on to a 2-point lead.
And I get to give Cole Freer credit on that one. He stayed home, defeated the block, turned it inside, which is his job. He kept outside leverage, kept that leverage right there. And nice job by the Spuds, Larry, after the reverse, coming back and helping him out. And they stopped him about the 2-yard line. Great defensive play.
Town and Country Oil and Propane can take the stress out of the upcoming heating season. Fuel oil deliveries in and around the metro and also the Ada area. Propane deliveries are available for the Lakes area, and farmers rely on Town and Country Oil and Propane for oils, lubricants, and of course, propane. Make the call. Town and Country Oil and Propane, 233-2421. Spuds hold on to their lead, 14-12.
That's a huge stop, wasn't it?
It was.
And a good, again, it's just, I like seeing kids like Cole and Crompton and those groups. They're learning about how to keep outside leverage and turn things in and let the other guys come in. And that's just, they're getting enough reps finally that it's really showing. That's just going to help them as they go in the next couple of weeks.
47 seconds remaining. Let's see what the Cardinals have in store on this kickoff. The last time around it was a pooch kick, and they go short again. And it's recovered this time at the 35 and out to the 40, to the 45 and out of bounds. Colton Creer on the return. Colton Creer returned to the midfield line.
Colton about 3 games ago got one like that, and he ran sideways for a whole bunch, and so everybody's been giving a hard time, including me when I see him. Not that time. He made a great move, and look at the field position he just put the Spuds into with 41 seconds. That's kind of manageable.
It is from the 48-yard line now, in spite of the fact that they'll be going into their win. The biggest play they've had has been a pass in this second quarter into the win.
And when you look at it, Otis has gotten all positive yards, but they've done a pretty good job of not letting Otis break anything big so far.
Unofficially, I have Otis Weah with 34 yards rushing on 8 carries. Otis Weah. On the other side of it, Cody Faber likewise has been held basically in check as the play goes off to the far side, and it is.
He caught that.
Somehow it is caught at the.
Holy mackerel! That's Riley.
There was a receiver, Riley Schock, and a defender both there, and I thought it was intercepted, but Riley Schock somehow got his arms wrapped around it, and the completion is made, and the Spuds take a timeout. We return to Jim Goda Stadium with 34 seconds to go in the first half. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 14, Alexandria 12.
We got Justice Kicks coming up. Grades 2 through 12. We got Spuds and Broncos youth football. And our pep band playing as well. Coming up at halftime.
Second down and 7. Moorhead at the Alexandria 45-yard line. 34 seconds to go in the half. Spuds leading at 14-12. Wide receiver left side for Jack Stetz. quick toss on the near side, screen set up. Here's the reception. 45 and 40, then down. Nah, very close. Let's see where they spot him. Moorhead wants to hustle up. They've used their timeouts.
Yep.
No,
they got to measure it.
They're going to take a measurement here, and Kevin Feeney out and he has the right to do that just in case it is not a first down. They had not signaled that. And, of course, the real reason for that is he gets to stop the clock.
That's a good job. He got right up to the official. So I want a measurement. I want a measurement. They're going to measure it because he knew he was out of timeouts. At the same time, he was waving the offense to get up there in case he didn't get it.
It's fun to watch the antics between coaches and officials as they try to figure things out from one play to the next as the chains are being brought on.
Well, you know,
as you can hear, the wind is howling here tonight.
Yep. You know, it's a chess game between the two coaching staffs.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a chess game with the officials, too.
All right, it's stretched out and just inches away. So very close. It was worth
Yes,
it was worth the measurement.
Yep.
There's no question.
Even though it's artificial turf, you don't know if the markings are quite right?
Well, you still have to look all the way across.
It's a long way to look. But they got to get on the ball and be ready to go because as soon as they get those chains set, they're going to start it. So they got to have their play ready to go.
And they'll either run a play or snap one into the turf.
What's third
get
down?
The incompletion.
3rd and 1. They got to get the first down first.
Okay.
They got to get the first down.
As the chains are making their way back into position on the far side of the field, Jack Stetz is ready.
Oh, no.
No, I don't know if they can call it on that. The ball wasn't ready. The officials, the ball was not ready. The officials were not in place. And so now, with the clock running, everything has to be kosher. Wide receivers to the far left side. Here is Jack Stetz. He's going to run it himself. He's got the first down and then throws upfield.
Oh, my!
It is caught! It is caught! Touchdown! Otis Weah, 38-yard reception on what was most certainly an interception, except for the will and desire of Otis Weah.
I'll tell you what, that's a great play. First of all, Jack knew where he was. He scrambled, saw that he hadn't crossed the line of scrimmage, threw basically up a Hail Mary. Their defensive back was waiting for the ball to come down to him instead of going up and get it. Otis just cut in front of him and took off. Free safety kind of got it. He saw the end zone touchdown. Wow.
He wrestled it and ran it.
Wow.
So the point after. Here is the kick on its way up, and the Spuds have a 3-score lead. A 2-score, make that a 3-score lead. With 8 seconds to go on the Speakeasy scoreboard. Moorhead 21, Alexandria 12.
Where he waited.
If this goes to a Saturday night game on the 28th, Steve Carlson will be here. Because I'll be down at Carlton. The injury to an Alexandria player has been looked at. He is up and walking steadfastly off. H2M is creativity at work. Whether you're marketing a product or a business or the service that you provide, your customer wants to know about you. Bring in H2M. Dan Altenburn is part of the Spud legacy that promotes sportsmanship and goodwill. Put him to work for you. The challenges are theirs. The answers are there too. H2M, creativity at work. 38-yard pass reception, Otis Weah. And the Spuds with a 2-score advantage now at 21-12 just before the end of the half. There are 8 seconds to go as Clay Rivland, who has all of a sudden become a very busy player here in this first half of play with the scoring that has taken place. He is ready now, and after his first quick approach, drops back and approaches now again. Here's another low kick and squibs along the ground. picked up at the 27, out to the 35, and down there. And the ball will be put in play with 4 seconds remaining. And for this play, a rather stout breeze blowing at the back for Alexandria.
Yeah, I think we're going to guess that we're going to see them with 3 defensive backs with their toes at about the 35 or 30.
See how everybody lines up. Otis Weah, who just came off that great reception, stealing it away from the Cardinal defender. And he initially was back deep, but he has come up close now to the line of scrimmage just in case something comes his way. And I think they're going to just take the snap and drop down.
Yep.
And from the turf there, the play will come to an end as the teams head off the turf here at Jim Goda Stadium at the half on the Speakeasy scoreboard. Moorhead 21, Alexandria 12.
Youth football and
Dancing at halftime are the 2nd through 12th grade Moorhead Just for Kick dancers. Moorhead Just for Kicks offers classes for dancers ages 2 through 12th grade in kick, jazz, hip hop, tom, and more. The team is directed by Paige Ingalls. Put your hands together for the Moorhead Just for Kicks dancers as they perform to Rock the Pep Rally. Moorhead, just for kick. And now, from the FM Football League, Spuds, Broncos, next. big round of applause for the Spuds and the Broncos.
Okay.
After a temperature, a very pleasant afternoon, but windy and breezy, and of course that has taken its toll too on the comfort level of our game here in the second half. But when we take a look out onto the field and see what's going on, that comfort level certainly gets raised to a new level when these two teams play.
Absolutely, and they're giving us the game that we thought we were going to get. It's close, a lot of good hitting, not a lot of penalties, and they're getting after each other. And then, you know, what's going to be neat after this, no matter who wins, they're going to go back and shake hands and say, nice job.
And meet again a week from Saturday.
I hope so.
Well, right now, that's the way it is, folks. It looks like Brainerd will be the #1 seed, and they will host an opening, not an opening round game, but a semifinal game. There are just 5 teams in Section 8, and Bemidji and Sartell appear to be headed for the play-in game. The #4 and #5 seeds will play off on Tuesday coming up, and then the winner of that game will go to Brainerd to take on the Warriors. And that leaves just Moorhead and Alexandria.
Yep.
And the importance, significance of this game is that the winner here will have the advantage towards a home field.
Yeah, and that exactly, and it'd be really fun to get them back here on this field. And Moorhead, depending on how this comes out, you know, Moorhead got beat by Alex twice last year, so they'd like to kind of get that back in their favor too if they could. And Alex had a very nice football team last year also.
Alexandria started the year with a win over Andover and Sartell, 32-0 in that win over Sartell. Then took back-to-back losses to Brainerd and Rocori before winning back-to-back against St. Cloud Tech and Bemidji. Then a loss to Sauk Rapids, and Sauk Rapids appears to be a team heading into the playoffs on a very high level.
Yeah, they looked real good against Alex when I watched the film, and they have really improved on defense. They fly around and they get penetration, and when they were trying to run that zone cut stuff back, their linebackers are very active, and they're a little bit different team than what we got to see when the Spuds played them earlier, Larry.
As a result, the Cardinals into tonight's game with 4 wins and 3 losses. The Spuds are 5-2. They took an opening season loss against Elk River, then won 5 consecutive games, defeating Sauk Rapids and St. Cloud Tech, Bemidji, Wilmer, Sartell before losing last week to Brainerd 35-28. Everything, regardless of how the matchups go, whether it be more, and we're taking a bit of a slanted view on this, understand that. Moorhead, Bemidji, or Moorhead, Brainerd, and Alexandria. You get any one of those 3 that are involved in that championship game, it'd be worth the price of admission.
Oh, absolutely, and if the Spuds get knocked up, I might even go to it. I can hunt my way there.
There you go. Teams have made their way onto the field, and they have concluded their warm-ups. We're getting ready for the start of the second half, and we'll return for the third quarter kickoff. At halftime, our score on the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 21 and Alexandria 12. All right, 2 minutes.
Everybody
Some
up for the kick we
less than
see.
41 seconds scored. That was something.
3 touchdowns, 1 rush, 2 pass receiving for Otis Weah tonight. And what is missing so far from his game is the big play. You can't take that away from him because the rest of the night has been pretty good.
Absolutely, but you know what? All he needs is one little mistake by that defense being in the wrong spot. You know he'll go because he
Virtually
runs.
every game has been somebody has miscalculated on their ability to stop him. And 3 times this year he is on his first carry went 80-some yards.
Yep, and then plus that kickoff return at one time was pretty nice too.
With that, the Spuds holding a 21-12 lead. Hoping for a victory tonight that would finish the regular season with 6 wins and 2 losses heading into the playoff season. Spuds will have the wind at their back in the 4th quarter. And that is a part of the strategy that goes into the toss of the coin at the very start of the game, not only on receiving or kicking, but which end of the field do you want to defend and which quarter or which half do you want the wind at your back. So the Cardinals now will kick off.
I also like the little game they're playing with the 2 Weahs. They're eye backs. They're waiting for. I don't think they want to kick it to Otis, but they just did.
At the 10-yard line, it's picked up. Here's the 15. And the 20, and then he's gang tackled down right at the 20-yard line. So that he had to jump for that one. It took a weird bounce and went high up into the air. Otis Weah was able to pull it down and bring it out to the 20-yard line where the Spuds have first down.
And that was very, very good coverage by Alexandria's kickoff team also. They stayed in their lanes, waited for Otis to make a move, then they converged. Their outside people kept containment so that nothing could happen. And that's a nice job to stop him at the 20.
Ethan Hoff has come into the lineup late as he checks in with a play from the near sideline. As the Spuds break huddle, Hoff will be wide to the near right side. Jack Stetz is at quarterback, running backs on either side of him. As the snap come back and Stetz throws into the ground. He had a little skipper out there intended for Ethan Hoff. He was starting to face some pressure, but I think he still had plenty of time to throw, and he just simply threw it into the turf.
Yeah, just one of those where he didn't get his feet around all the way when when he's left-handed. He's got to get those hips turned around, and he snapped in, and Moore just ran that little hitch play that they like to do, and it was there. He just not a good throw. And you know what? That's the only bad throw I've seen him make so far tonight.
Very happy to see Dr. Lynn Kovash on the field prior to the start of the game tonight as she delivered the game ball to head coach Kevin Feeney. And we would like to wish you well as you continue your road. Here is Otis Weah. He's got 10. He's got 15. He was one step from sliding to the outside in upfield. 15 yards on the run from Otis Weah and a Spuds first down.
What a nice play. They went counter sweep that time. They faked the ball inside, pulled both guards and tackle from the right side, got him around the left side. Beautiful job of getting heads on a number of them. And Otis saw that lane and he took off for a nice 10-yard gain and the first down. And their big Ludwig came all the way across from his middle linebacker spot to make that tackle.
Ball has been moved up to the 34-yard line. We are just underway third quarter. Moorhead with a 21-12 lead. And looking upfield and looking deep. He's got his man on the near side. Nice. Ethan Hoff makes a catch inside the 40-yard line. A perfectly thrown alley-oop pass up and over the top of the defender, right into the arms of Ethan Hoff, and it's first down, Moorhead.
And that time what they did, Larry, is there was a little pump fake. Ethan faked the hitch like he does, made the pitch, got up. Pretty good coverage, you guys hip pocket, but most importantly, he threw that ball outside shoulder so that when Ethan went up, he was the only one who was going to catch it. And a nice job by their corner coming back, but Ethan got it in there. Nice play.
We're going to have to stop talking about the wind being a factor because the biggest production so far has been pass plays into the wind. As it goes to Otis Weah to the edge, and he goes to the 35-yard line. Another 5-yard gain for Otis Weah as the Spuds are going left and right and up the middle, and they move the ball upfield.
Yep, went counter sweep again to the left. Otis saw the alley, got there, but you know what? Bryce Ludwig from his middle linebacker spot came across and made the block. He shed tackles, or I mean shed blocks in front of him and made the tackle. That young man gets around.
Line to gain the Alexandria 29-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 35. Here is bootleg, near side Jack Stetz. Can he get there? He does. He gets to the 20 and then is dragged down from behind as the Cardinals come up, dragging the play down by Daniel Jansen. And that is a first down. Spuds on a great run by Jack Stetz.
Well, I'll tell you what, they went and faked sweep that time, came back with boot, and Ludwig went all the way across the field because I didn't see that Jack still had the ball before he figured it out. Now, how about the speedy Jack getting around the corner and outrunning Jansen? That's a pretty nice job by Jack.
To the 19-yard line, the Spuds are in the red zone as they try to get in position to improve a 21-12 lead. Here's the turn and the handoff, and the pile up goes to the 15, but no, it gets loose, and Terrence Weah still on the loose as he goes down at the 12-yard line. That little run by Terrence Weah turned into an 8-yard run.
And that thing started on the right side. They ran the wham play with him playing from fullback. He got in there with not a lot of things. Somehow he snuck out and got way the heck out over the left hash for a big 8-yard gain. That's just a nice job of keeping your balance and keeping your legs going.
Players come in and out of the lineup for the Spuds as they face second down. Second down and 8, or second down and 2 rather, after an 8-yard gain. The ball is resting at the 12-yard line in Alexandria territory. Out of the huddle, Spuds bring receiver near right side. One man in the backfield, Otis Weah. From under center, here is Jack Stetz. He mishandled it, got away, still looking. Jack Stetz scrambling. He goes down, ball loose, fumble recovery, Alexandria. Too many dances on the turf for Jack Stetz, and he held the ball up high to get away, and finally it popped loose. Another penalty flag has been thrown, and I don't know if it came as a result of celebration or as a result of too much yipping. I think it's
going to be a yipping
one way or the other.
Yep. And that's too bad, but Jack mishandled the snap originally.
It's against the offense. It's against Alexandria.
Yeah, there was some chirping going on. The guy actually took the ball and put it in a Spud player's face, and that's going to get you 15 every time. And you just got to have a little more common sense in it. But Jack that time was kind of his own worst enemy because he fumbled the snap.
It's exciting to watch.
Yeah, it was exciting, but you could not have the ball. He kept pumping like he was going to throw, and he never got it tucked away, and somebody slapped that out of his hands.
Well, he was a left-hander rolling right.
Yep.
He was trying to get in position, and with the pressure that was being applied, just simply never could.
Yep.
And so the turnover gives it to Alexandria now. Twice the Spuds have fumbled here tonight and given it back to the Cardinals. Yeah. And so the score stays 21-12 Moorhead. The Cardinals have a big road ahead of them now as they begin this drive at the 8-yard line. Wide receiver, far right side. Now the wind at their back here in the third quarter. The Cardinals, Michael Empting, standing at his own 2-yard line to take the snap. As they take a look and wait. Again, Empting, a long look across, trying to draw the Spuds in. Still plenty of time on the play clock. As he resets now back at the 2. It's there, and the handoff. Nice hole opens up at the 15, and then gang tackled and down. A great hole along the left side of that offensive line, allowing Derek Peepo to sneak through and sprint up to the 15. It's down there, and it's second down and 1.
Yeah, and again, that time they pulled the backside guard and ran a little counter play off that. And again, he does a nice job. He sees that alley, he goes.
Just across the 15 and near the 16-yard line, it's second and 1. Michael Empting has taken some time to step up towards the line and change the play call. And as he steps back in the shotgun, he's back to pass and throw up and over the top, and he's got his man, but it slips through his hands, incomplete. He was open. He had to go down for it just a bit. And Bryce Ludwig, the intended receiver, who doesn't make very many mistakes in the course of a night, had that one slip through his hands about knee high. And to the turf it goes incomplete. It's third down.
I can say he is all over the field, isn't he? That time he came from the inside twin, ran a post pattern against Otis, had leverage on him. And Ludwig, I'm sorry, Empting had plenty of time to throw after the play fake. And he just a little bit too far.
Listed at 6'2" and 224. I suspect he's got a future. on Saturday afternoons upcoming. Wide receivers to the far side, wide receiver near left side. Spuds on a blitz. Handoff goes and the blitz stops the play, but may have been enough for the first down as he needed just a yard, yard and a half. And in spite of the pursuit at the point of attack by the Moorhead defense, the Chains will move on as he picked up 2 yards.
A nice timing that by James Eggert. He actually blitzed from his right side through the A gap. They left it there, and he made a great tackle. And unfortunately, they only needed a couple. But still, it was a nicely timed blitz. He was there.
Again, back in shotgun formation with the back on the left side. Now moving, man in the slot near side as Michael Empting takes a look upfield. Stepping back and ready. A screen set up at the 12, reception made, 15 and 25 and 30. Down at the 32-yard line. Nice play set up by the Cardinals as they hook up
is complete.
with
Tyson.
Yeah, a second tight end, Helsher, Tyson Helsher,
First down, Cardinals.
there to make the reception and run for a first down.
And they set that up real well, Larry. Went play action first. He dropped back. All receivers went deep. Helsher came out. That was a long developing screen, but they ran it very well.
Up to the 33-yard line. Alexandria trailing 21-12, 8 minutes to go, third quarter. Here's the snap back, and it'll keep. And Michael Empting, as he tried to step away, was ankle tackled down. Still a nice gain by Empting, picking up 4, maybe 5 yards on the play.
By Seth Anderson.
Seth Anderson was there to make the stop for Moorhead.
Yeah, Seth actually was slanting out to the left that time. With that zone read keeper, there was a nice gap there. He came back inside to make the tackle. I'm glad he did because he was just starting ready to turn gears because they had a helmet on the second level people.
Michael Empting standing back. Wide receivers, 2 to the far right side. Receiver near left side. Waiting for the long count at 2nd down and 5. It is quarterback Empting. He slips away to the 40, maybe the 41-yard line. He was ready to high step his way for the first down, then get lifted up and driven back. And a flag comes down late. The forward motion stopped at the 41-yard line.
That's against the Spuds.
And that's just a 2-yard pickup there. And if this penalty is against Moorhead, which it is
against Spuds.
It'll give Alexandria a first down.
And that was something that not needed to be. Moorhead's linebacker got in there late, and he actually, as he was getting up off the pile, stepped on him. And that's just not the way to play the game. And I know that he's excited and he's full of, testosterone, but you just got to be a little bit better than that.
With that penalty, the Cardinals have put the ball into Spuds territory at the 44-yard line. It's first down Alexandria, trailing by 9. And putting their ball control, clock control offense into motion. Receivers right and left. Down the line, first man in, he tripped. Michael Empting thought he had a big play called, and just as the handoff was given to Cody Faber, he slipped and fell and went down right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain, sets up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Empting's not very happy with himself because when he made that handoff, and it sounds really dumb, but he had his outside foot, so when he got it, when he made the cut, he actually tripped on Empting. Empting, he's doing this, he knew it, that he tripped over him, and it happens.
2nd and 10. Wide receivers left and right again. 4 receivers in the formation. 1 man in the backfield alongside Michael Empting. Snap is back and a quick look out to the far side. It's thrown right on the money. Oh my, what a pretty pass off to the far side. There was no room for error on that one. It was thrown right on the hands and leading the receiver forward. And the reception to Derek Peepo gives Alexandria a first down at the 31-yard line.
And that was just a, kind of a bubble screen where he bends it back, and that was a great catch, but he put it right where he could catch it. So when he hit it, he had nothing but running room, and a very nice play. Got Moorhead's corner out of there, and they had a nice alley to run into.
Halfway through the third quarter, the Cardinals now have driven it down to the Spuds 31-yard line. Bit of a high snap, but it's pulled in, and again the screen this time to the near side. And on the play,
Colton
to the near sideline, Colton Career rather comes up with the play. And the pass complete on the near side to Cody Branson is good for about 4 yards. to set up 2nd down and 6.
Again, running the bubble screen to the left that time, and Colton took a chance by coming inside of that guy that was getting blocked, but he was fortunate enough to get his arm out when he dove and caught him, but he really needs to get outside of that guy to turn that back inside.
Receiver strong far to the right side. Fullback strong on the near left side. Here's the snap back. And it is the quarterback emptying on a great play call and great execution of the play. Carrying it inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And Anthony Angadi making the stop, but I think there was a penalty.
There's going to be a holding call on them.
Holding against Alexandria.
That time was a quarterback keeper and their right tackle as excuse me, as Riley Schock came in to make the block, he literally grabbed him and tore him to the ground. That's what gave him that alley, and it happened right in front of the official, and a good call. And that's the first time we've seen them take a big penalty like that.
5:23 to go. We've had no scoring here in the third quarter, and the Spuds hold on to that 21-12 advantage. A quick look by all Alexandria players to the far sideline before they come back on and step into the huddle. 2 receivers far right, 2 receivers near left. They are not a part of the huddle, and so everybody else is. They know their rotation, they know their play call. It is quarterback emptying. He's got some room inside the 30, inside the 25, and down at the 27-yard line. Again, Michael Empting pulling a bit of a rabbit out of the hat. He needed 13, got 10, and it's 2nd down.
Yep, fake the handoff to the man in motion, and they actually ran. It was a quarterback trap where they trapped the defensive tackle. He got up in there. James Eggert was there just to make tackle, and he lost his footing and had to dive, and Empting broke, just a little arm tackle.
It's 3rd down for the Cardinals. 3rd down now. Line to gain the Spuds 21-yard line. It is Cody Faber. He got stood up and driven down, and it comes down right near the 20-yard line. Somewhere between the 20 and 21. It's good enough for the 1st down. Cody Faber getting 3 yards, and it's a 1st down.
And that time, they ran the inside zone, and you got to like what he did. He just put his shoulder pad level down, Larry, and created an extra yard, and he's a bigger back, and that's just nice, hard, strong, tough running.
With the play and the drive continuing for the Cardinals, time of possession here has been really quite amazing between these two teams. Both have had good time-consuming scoring drives. Here is Michael Empting, who got tripped and spun around and down at about the 15-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain for quarterback Michael Empting.
Yeah, that time they it was a high snap, which they haven't had yet tonight. He was trying to run speed option to the right, had to get hold of the ball. Moorhead ran a blitz through the B gap, and the blitzer didn't see that and actually ran past Empting and left a hole for him to run through. And I think the guy that was blitzing was going out to the pitch man, and he didn't see Empting with the ball, and that's because of the mishandled snap. So it even messes up the timing for the defense sometimes.
Michael Empting with the blitz coming. It's Faber. And then he was carrying out the fake as Empting works his way loose to the near side. And with the blade down, the Spuds are thinking they were able to get the ball away from him. But the ball has been declared down at the 10 and right at the 1st down marker.
And I think they're going to give it to him.
And so with that, the chains move on, and it's 1st and goal, Alexandria. In spite of them, the Cardinals trailing by 2 scores, they have simply stayed with their game plan here in the 3rd quarter.
Yep, they're doing what they know how to do, and they're doing it very well. That time he faked everybody out. He rode that back as long as he could, then tried to run the quarterback draw back or keep to the left, and he bounced that thing all the way outside. That was a nice job by Empting.
Cardinals are threatening from the Spuds 10-yard line. Empting, right side, handoff, Faber, touchdown. He dodged and twisted and worked his way in and around defenders and into the end zone. Cody Faber on a 10-yard touchdown run.
Tell you what, Larry, that was just the inside zone again, and their left side got a hat on every Moorhead defender right at the spot up where that'd be. And then when the safety see that, the safety came over and he cut behind the safety. There was nothing he could do. Very well done up front by them, and he reads that very well. And I'm sure they're going to go for 2 here.
Well,
they need to.
At 21-18, it's a 3-point game now. Needing points.
Need the points.
Gonna try for 2. Out of the shotgun, rolling and looking. scrambling back and throwing back to an open, wide open play, and the 2-point conversion is good. Tight end Bryce Ludwig was left all alone on the near side. The formation basically suckered Moorhead off to the far left, and it left Ludwig all alone in the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
And that's a tight end delay that they ran where he sprinted right as far as he could. He blocked down. Nobody saw him. Then he comes under, you know, on a crossing route, and he just threw it as he did. He threw that thing as hard as he could, as far as he could, to get him, because he was about 35 yards away from him when he threw that, because he was on the other hash mark. Nicely conceived play.
So that blocked point after by Logan Garcia at the very start of the game looms big.
Looms real big.
As the Spuds hold on to a 1-point lead.
Well, and then the other thing you look at for them, too, is that if they score and Moorhead, even if Moorhead does score, they could miss an extra point. Next thing you know, they could tie the ball game. So it was smart to go for 2 there.
Remodeling projects or new home construction means a call to Rick Halverson of Rick Halverson Construction Moorhead. They'd like to visit with you and find out what you have in mind. Known for their thorough and timely work schedule, the craftsmen of Rick Halverson Construction ready to make sure your program gets done right. Go online, reach out to Rick at rickhalversonconstruction.com. Here's Terrence Weah on the return.
Wow.
35-45. Terrence Weah on the run. Terrence Weah will go all the way. Terrence Weah returns the kick all the way, and the Spuds have made this a 2-score game.
What a great job. That thing started left, Larry. He cut it back. Cole Crompton was on the other side of the field, worked his tail off, and made the key block at about the 30-yard line, because the guy had the angle on him. What a huge block by Crompton, and what a great job. We just had the wrong Weah for who was going to break a big one.
Now the point after try. Terrence Weah, whose playing time in the first half was somewhat scanty, has come up with a big kickoff return, and with the point after try by Clay Rivlin, the Spuds have regained an 8-point lead. With 2:33 to go in the third quarter on the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 28 and Alexandria 20.
Oh, wasn't that fun? I knew you had your head.
Terrence Weah did the rest. A 91-yard kickoff return. Moorhead takes an 8-point lead.
Can we do a hustle award of the game?
Well, he's going to get it.
Oh, absolutely. He was on the opposite side of the formation, came all the way down, and he somehow got in front of Weah and made a great block.
So with that score, here's the Spuds kickoff by Clay Rivlin, who approaches and then steps back. And Alexandria put together a grinding drive and a 2-point conversion to pull within 1, but the Spuds come right back on the return. Here's end over end and driven off to the far side and into the wind, picked up at the 5. 10, 15, and 20 to the sideline and down, out of bounds near the 23-yard line, and it's first down, Alexandria.
That is one heck of a kick into the wind. He had some height and got that to the 5 into that wind. That is something. Wow. And then nice job by the Spuds staying in their lanes and kicked it to about the 5, about a 20-yard return. That's a not bad, nice special teams. Like, what a kick.
Moorhead's defense, which has been on the field a lot here in this third quarter, returns to action, but they still hold an 8-point advantage, and the Alexandria offense Still with a full quarter and a couple of minutes to play, I doubt they'll make any drastic changes in their approach.
There's no time to panic. There's a lot of football left to play.
It's been a successful approach so far. Here's Michael Empting. And he'll hand off to the first man in, and Cody Faber has a nice little seam to work across the 30, and he'll go down near the 31-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain for Cody Faber.
I tell you, that's great vision by Faber, Larry. Again, running the inside zone to the left, sees that as bottle up, makes a cut all the way back behind the guard. He got the ball over the opposite guard where he's running and finds that lane, and without losing any speed.
This play gets underway with less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 28-20 Moorhead, Alexandria football. Second down and about 2 is where they call it, so that turned into an 8-yard gain for Cody Faber. Here's the play, and the quarterback Michael Empting pulled it away and headed in. And he got to the line of scrimmage, but really not much more than that, as Seth Anderson and Landon Berry all teaming up on that play to make the stop.
And Riley Schott came through and gave the final blow and got him down and really stood him up hard. And he's pretty fired up, and that kind of is a nice thing to see after that last penalty.
So lots of rotation players, and the Spuds trying to get Tristan Deere off the field in time, and he just did make it as Alexandria had approached the line of scrimmage. It's third down and about a yard. This time the first down is gained. Tripped up at the line and then vaulting forward down at about the 38-yard line. First down Cardinals, and it's everything done between tackles.
And that time that was just a straight ahead A-lane block, and he knew what he had to do. He got the ball, didn't even look. He just put his head down and got what he could. And James Eggert was the one that ended up making the tackle, but that's just good hard running, Larry.
Receiver near side is Derek Peepo. Receiver far right, and at quarterback Michael Empting. Cardinals at their own 37-yard line. Here's Empting. Back to pass and looking. He's got his man open. Catch is made out near midfield. And Peepo with that reception right near the first down marker will move the chains as they spot him out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Right at midfield now for the Cardinals.
And that's a nice play, Moritz, sitting out there in cover 2. So you got Otis back about 12 yards. They take the tight end and put him on a 10-yard out. Otis got a long way to go. He was there. He made the catch, got the extra 2 for the first down, and that's just a nice play called against that cover 2 because the outside linebacker can't get underneath it because of the play action.
Play starts with 45 seconds remaining in the third. Long count, and Michael Empting steps up and makes a line change before stepping back into his position in the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. First man in, Faber, nothing open. Dances off to the right side, slides his way forward for
Faber,
2.
the ball carrier.
Faber on that carry inside the 48-yard line where it's second down.
Nice job by Landon Berry that time, Larry. He's lined up on the left side. He kind of slanted, got across the tackle's face, and there was a cutback holder, but Landon came so hard that he had to slow up, and then the linebackers were able to come over and clean up. That's a nice job. The defensive lineman's got to get across.
With play running short here in the third quarter, Cardinals taking one last snap. It's a bit high, but it's pulled down, and there's the pitch out on the near side. Faber, little shoulder fake to the right, and then dances to the left and steps down at the 45-yard line as the clock has run out. We've got a fourth quarter to play with everything on the line. After 3 quarters of play at Jim Dota Stadium in Moorhead, on the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 28, Alexandria 20.
All right, Blackhole, on your feet. It is time for your fourth quarter jumper round.
Wow.
On
To the fourth quarter we go with game on the line. Spuds holding an 8-point lead. Alexandria moving left to right here in the fourth quarter, and for whatever factor it might be, into the wind. Receivers left, receivers near right side. As the play goes off the left side, and the Spuds defense following down the line to make the stop after a short game.
Yeah, they tried to run a little bit of an outside zone with Holster that time, their big tight end. And a nice job by the Spuds getting across and keeping outside containment. And this is kind of neat, fourth down into the wind.
Another in a long line of fourth down situations for the Cardinals. As Michael Empting now steps in under center, hoping to draw the Spuds offside, and nothing doing yet. Now back under center, takes the snap and rolls left side, and the Spuds are there. The play was made.
Landon.
And Landon Berry comes up with the stop, and that fourth down play is turned over on downs, and that is one of the few times that Alexandria has been stopped. The other fourth down situations have been inside the 5-yard line, and there have been stops made there, but out in the middle of the field of play, ball turned over on down.
And it was actually Logan Garcia, I'm sorry, that he came across, slammed it down when he tried to get outside with that long reach, and he made sure he made a great tackle, but that was actually Logan that time.
And on the exchange, the Spuds take over with an 8-point lead at their own 42.5-yard line. Inside handoff. Otis Weah breaks loose 50, comes to the outside 40. Otis Weah on his way, pushing his man forward. Otis Weah is out of bounds as he gets inside the 10-yard line. As the crowd watches Otis Weah, it's like a train. Go, go, and it just gains momentum as he turns upfield.
Yep, and what a great job. They ran power back to left. He broke it outside, and again, Larry Cole Crompton getting downfield, got a piece, and then how about Weah that time? He pushed Crompton ahead so he could get the extra yards and out, and we got a 1st and goal.
And that puts Otis Weah over the 100-yard mark on the night, and it puts the Spuds in position inside the 10-yard line. And it goes back to Otis Weah, and he pounds his way in for the score. First, it was a 53-yard run, and now it was a 7-yard run, and the Spuds add on 6.
Yep, and you know what? He owes his cousin Terrence Weah was the lead blocker on that, turned that big linebacker inside just enough. And of course, when he sees the end zone, off he goes. But a nice block by Terrence, and what a nice job with the Spuds. 3 plays and score, make it a 2-score game.
Now the point after try, the spot will be at the 10-yard line for Clay Rivland. The snap is back and put in place, but it will be redone. We've got a
Moorhead jump.
False start coming up against Moorhead, so they'll kick it from 5 yards deeper.
Yeah, that's too bad. They had the left side of the offensive line kind of lurched down because they come down and kind of corralled, touch each other to make that stop, and they went just a half a snap too fast.
So after the 5-yard penalty has been assessed, they'll spot it at the 8. And the point on the turf for the point after try now will be the 15-yard line.
And Larry, this is a big extra point.
Here's the snap and put in place. Rivland approaches, and the kick is on its way up, and it is good. Clay Rivland stays good on the night with 11:02 to go in the fourth quarter. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 35 and Alexandria 20.
Everybody up for the kickoff.
The people that left down here.
Clay Rivland on for the Spuds.
A 51-yard run by Otis Weah to set up a 7-yard touchdown run by Otis Weah, his 4th of the night. And the Spuds now lead at 35-20 over the Alexandria Cardinals as Clay Rivlin is setting out a kick away for the Spuds. With wind at his back, he's already driven kicks into the end zone. Others have come up just short in return, but it has been a big part. Here's an end-over-end kick. This one will go to the end zone and brought out to the 20-yard line. Town and Country Oil and Propane can take the stress out of the upcoming heating season. Fuel oil deliveries in and around the metro and also in the Ada area. Propane deliveries are available for the Lakes area, and farmers rely on Town and Country Oil and Propane for oils, lubricants, and of course propane. Make the call. Town and Country Oil and Propane. 218-233-2421. Big night again for the Spuds after Alexandria jumped out to a start. The Spuds have rebounded nicely and lead it now 35-20.
And I like the fact that was a big extra point. So if something should happen, they're going to be forced to go for 2 one more time. And that in high school football, that is big.
4 touchdowns, Otis Weah. 1 touchdown, Terrence Weah. And the Cardinals now, it's still just a 2-score game. 15 points is the difference. They've already converted on 1 2-point try as they go back to pass and go up and over the top off to the far sideline. A high jump up into the air for the interception that is bounced away. Cole Crompton on the defensive plate. He's having a big night.
He's having a big night. Again, playing cover 2. The receiver in front of him did a hitch. They tried to run a flag route. Jack was there for the coverage. He threw it high. He came off his route and got up and knocked up ball away. Nice defensive play, and he is everywhere tonight.
He has certainly gone side to side. Cole Crompton with a big night. And play has been stopped here momentarily. And clock, apparently it's a clock issue that continues to run, and it won't shut off.
They're having problems with it.
And so they'll keep time. If they cannot control that clock, they'll keep time down on the field.
If that makes that back judge really busy.
Of course, that'll put us way out of whack. Worse? Unless you want to go down there.
Worse than we already are.
No. If the Spuds win this game, they will have a home game coming up 1 week from Saturday. That would be the 28th. And we don't know the start time yet, but in the past it has been an evening game. Spuds like to do that. It seems to be in the realm of what they do as a rhythm. They like to play. They play evening games throughout the year. Might as well play a playoff game in the evening.
Well, plus it gives everybody time to go out pheasant hunting before they come back for the game.
Yeah, that would be
me.
I thought. That would be on the 28th, and it would again be against Alexandria. Now, if the Cardinals come back, that game would be switched and it would be played at Alexandria. And they also like to play the evening game on that semifinal Saturday.
Then I'll pheasant hunt my way down.
Birds are gone. They've gone south.
Yep. And the dog will be happy except for the 3 hours you got to sit in the truck when we're doing this. And he doesn't mind if I give him water.
They have reset the clock at 10:57, but whether it will run accurately from that point on, I guess we'll know in a moment.
Yeah, and that ball was out of bounds and actually knocked down, so it doesn't start right away.
So from there, at their own 20-yard line, it is now 2nd down, Cardinals. Spread formation with a protecting running back alongside. Colton Creer defending on the near side. Play looks to be going in the other direction. There's a ball loose on the ground, and recovered at the 15-yard line. Recovered at the 15-yard line, but waiting for the officials to point in which direction. Spuds think they've got it back. And the ball was a deflection. It was a snap back to the quarterback, who then tipped it forward to the running back. And if that, they might even call that
pass?
A pass.
I don't think they can, because I think it was a high snap, and he
deflected. He did deflect it, but
yeah.
You know, whether that's by rule considered to be a pass, in which case it would go as an incompletion
pass,
because he did not have control of it. And I can understand how they would make that call.
Well, I know Seth wants it to be his because he's the one who recovered it, and that young man hasn't come off the field. But I'm pretty sure it was Seth Anderson that got that.
Oh, wait, no. We're not done yet here. One official had indicated Moorhead football. Now another official The one in the white hat has indicated Alexandria football.
Huh.
And
Coach Feeney's
I guess
find
I would have a bigger problem having that be ruled a fumble than I would have it being ruled an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying, but it depends on what they discussed. To me, it was a deflection because it was a high snap. I don't know how it could be a pass because you'd almost have to have. He never had control of it to make it a pass.
Well, I don't know that that's a part of the rule. I guess we'd have to look at that.
Well,
to see.
I'm a coach. I don't know the rule. Ask the officials.
I'm not a coach, and I don't know them either.
But
I guess we're getting a lesson. We're being taught a lesson in rules.
Well, Moorhead's defense is back out there. And so...
And I know that the fans are wondering how this is going to be.
And the ball is 3 yards deeper than it was before, so now are they saying that...
If it's an incompletion, it's got to come back to that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, or are they saying that Moorhead didn't recover the ball?
Maybe they didn't, yeah. Maybe Alexandria, in fact, recovered.
Yeah.
And still the clock is at the 10:51 mark. Well,
that's one of those where I wish I was on the phones with Coach Feeney to know what's going on, because
we'll get our wireless hooked up down there on the field.
Yeah, there you go. We can do that, or I can read it tomorrow in the paper.
Chris Murphy is here. He'll have a full explanation of tonight's game. Always enjoy reading Spuds stories.
Right.
Yes, incompletion is the call.
Good call on your part.
I got one. In 42 years, I got one.
Well, everybody's due one.
Yeah, another 42 years, we'll get the second one. Here we go, left and right now for the Cardinals, who hang on, and they have moved it up, and it's third down at the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. Back to pass, Michael Empting. He wants to go deep, and he throws it up the middle, and it is knocked away. Jack stepping in front of the intended receiver. Cody Faber to knock it away, and it is now 4th down.
And nice job by the Spuds defense, Larry. They only brought the 3 interior linemen. They did a pretty good job of containing him. He couldn't out. They stayed back in zone. Jack read what he had to read, got across, and made a nice, timing on as far as knocking it down. Great job by the defense.
Moorhead will get the football with a 35-20 lead. Our first punt of the night, and the Cardinals are at their own 5-yard line. The approach is away into the wind, and we see where the wind does affect as it bounces forward from the 45 and up to midfield and across to the 48-yard line. The Spuds will have it there.
He gets about a 30-yard punt out of that with wind, but that ball actually went about 10 or 11 yards. Nice job by the Spuds of getting away, and Otis even stayed back that time.
Yeah,
Larry.
but he still wanted it.
He wanted it, but he stayed
so
back.
badly.
I think Coach Boomer had a laser on him saying, stay there,
well,
stay there.
Well, he's got enough voice. He doesn't need.
No, that's why he's a Boomer.
35-20. Spuds have come from a 6-0 deficit early, taking the lead, holding the lead, and we are in the 4th quarter.
And great field position, and here's where you want to see the Spuds control this thing and run as much time off the clock and still score.
Cole Crompton has come into the lineup now. Terrence Weah to the near side. Also, Ethan Hoff is checked in. He's a wide receiver. And out of the lineup, Crompton goes wide, far right side. Look for a lot of ground game here as Otis Weah breaks and spins and twists and works his way loose.
Wow.
Oh my! Otis Weah has gone 52 yards. Just as they want to lean in and wrap him up, Otis Weah has that extra gear, has that extra speed. 52 yards, touchdown run.
And just ran a little bit of power play to the left. Nice job by the front 7. Front 5 that time, sealing it down. And I'm sorry, Riley Schock did a good job. Riley got all the way to 2nd level. Otis with that little spin move in traffic, get out of it.
Now the point after try. The snap is back in place. Clay Rivlin's approach, and this one is blocked. That one was a bit off kilter right from the very start, and it will be no good. So with 10:21 to go, now in the 4th quarter at Jim Goda Stadium in Moorhead. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 41, Alexandria 20.
Wow.
We'd like to thank Lord and Deb Muscatel of Subaru South Moorhead for also donating money every touchdown tonight towards the Spuds Scholars. also known as Warhead Area Education Foundation. Thank you, Ward and Deb Muscatel. Everybody up for the kickoff.
You know, when he stepped on it, I don't think it was on purpose, but
Oh, it might have been.
but when you see it, yeah.
For the Cardinals.
And then he gets hyped up. Talk to him, not very quietly.
Five touchdowns tonight for Otis Weah, including the last, a 52-yard run. And he continues to impress once getting through that initial line. And a first-time kickoff away. Gathered in at the 7. Here's the return by the Cardinals to the 15 and 20.
Nice.
And Faber is tripped up at the 25-yard line and down. So nice return, and then tripped up. Nice defensive play by the Spud special teams, coming up with the stop. And it'll be first down. And
First down, Cardinals.
H2M is creativity at work. Whether you're marketing a product, a business, or the service you provide, the customer, your customer, wants to know about you. Bring in H2M. Dan Altenburn is part of the Spud legacy that promotes sportsmanship and goodwill in today's student athlete. Put him to work for you. The challenges are there. The answers are there. H2M is creativity at work. On first down, Alexandria. Hole has gotten a bit deeper, and the big play on Faber. He's driven down and back.
Brought down by Hall.
And from there, Clay Hall comes up with the stop. And with that tackle, a short gain leaves Alexandria second down and 7.
There's a nice job by Clay Larry being the outside linebacker. He did what he's supposed to do with the tackle block down on that zone block. He stayed with it. When the back cut it back, there he was, and made a nice form tackle for just a short gain.
Jamison Kozad has returned to that front 3 on second and 7, waiting in that shotgun formation. Here's the snap back to look, to throw, and the catch, and then the hit applied. Nice reception by Josh Wagner, but it slowed in a hurry when the contact came from Jack Stetz.
And you're going to see a hurry-up offense now, and all that was a pass to the inside receiver in that seam, and he did a nice job finding him.
Moorhead has built up a 41-20 lead. It has become now a 3-score game, and the urgency now is for Alexandria. Back to pass, and we'll see more of this. Here's the toss out there, and across midfield to the 45-yard line, where the gang tackle then takes place. But the stop made after the first down has been gained, and the chains move on. From the Spuds 44-yard line, it's first down, Alexandria. Make it the 42.
Yep, and again, just hit that inside receiver. Moorehead's sitting back in that cover, too, so they're just hooking him up, and it's kind of a gimme right now.
Alexandria into Spuds territory. Final game of the regular season tonight. Spuds and Cardinals. Back to pass and looking. Swung out far side.
Nice job.
Catch made, but a nice defensive play after a 2-yard gain. Cole Crompton again in on the stop. This time it was one-on-one coverage to put the play down, and it's second down and about 8.
Yeah, tried to run that little hitch in front of him. Cole, right, boom, right there. Nice job seeing it. Nobody else came into his zone.
Make that a 3-yard pickup on the pass completion, resulting in second and 7. Screen pass set up, and Faber on the catch, on the run, 35 and 30. And then the Spuds come up, put on the stop.
On the screen
but
play.
another first down gain on the pass
Shock.
completion on the screen pass to Cole.
First down, Cardinals.
To Cody Faber.
And a nice job that time, Larry, by Riley Schock. He was the only person out there, defeated the first blocker, and then had enough ability to get in and just trip up his feet. Otherwise, he'd have kept on going. So good job by him taking on the blocker and then making the tackle.
We're going to have some very impressive offensive numbers by both of these teams by night's end.
I'm
We
glad.
have been going up and down
Yes,
the field.
sir.
Cardinals now with first down inside the 30. Spud showing blitz. Back to pass. Looking, throwing. Man there. Dropped at the 21-yard line. He was right there. He went up for it, had it on his hands, but as he turned to head upfield, it squirted away. And the reception for Thomas Anderson goes away, incomplete, and it's second down.
Yeah, that time went in that cover, too. He actually ran a deep curl, came back. Cole Crompton saw the curl, nobody else came. He's going to it. He and Anthony Angotti collided to make it that big open. They're still talking about what they did there.
This play gets underway with 8:16 to go. Spuds again showing some pressure up, but then drop back as the snap is delayed. Here's a quick toss on a bubble screen. Catch made at the 32, sprinting forward to the 25. And from the point of reception, a 7-yard gain before Jack Stetz makes the play. And it brings up third down.
Nice job by Jack reading that, and also a nice job. And we've called his name a lot. Cole Crompton saw what that was, got inside and helped Jack on that for what could have been a bigger gain. They stopped him right in his tracks. Nice job.
Third down and 6. Alexandria. 7:45 to go. Moorhead leading 41-20. Here is a long pass towards the end zone. It is up for grabs, and it is incomplete.
Nope, Jack got a piece of it.
Jack Stetz got enough of it there to knock it away just as the receiver was settling in for the catch. So they're looking in the direction of Jack Stetz, who comes up time after time with big defensive plays.
Nice job by Jack, too, because the outside guy came up. Jack's got cover two. He stayed in his zone where he's supposed to be, then got good leverage on him, and he's tall enough to knock that down. Great play.
Another fourth down play for the Cardinals. Alone in the backfield, shotgun formation. Kevin Feeney is trying to get a timeout called and finally got the attention of the near side judge. Stopping play with 7:35 to go in the fourth quarter. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, Moorhead 41, Alexandria 20.
Trivia. This one is for
What country is number 1? Top country of producing spuds. Beginning in Douglas Oil Training.
This play underway with 7:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Cardinals facing a fourth down situation. Everybody is a receiver. Hoping to draw the Spuds offside. They've been tested in that department throughout the night with all the fourth down plays that the Cardinals have had. Empting is being rushed out of the pocket, and he throws, and it is picked up from the 5-yard line. And you had to know it would be Otis Weah.
Oh, flags all over the place.
Flags come down all over afterwards. After the play had gone to the far sideline. There could be celebration penalties. There could be out-of-bounds penalties. And so we'll wait to see how this all comes about.
There was a skirmish, but from our vantage point, we can't see it. But I don't know who it's going to go against, but there was a little bit of this in front of each other.
More than 100 yards rushing, plus some pass receptions, 5 touchdowns on the night, and now an interception for Otis Weah.
Yeah, it's against the Spuds.
This penalty already deep in Moorhead territory will move deeper.
Yep, half the
and
distance.
They will mark the distance off halfway and put it inside the 10, and they'll spot it down near the 8-yard line, and the Spuds have it from there. But just 7:24 remaining.
I tell you, on that last play, Larry, the Spuds played that just about perfect. They only brought 3, got a little pressure on them, but Otis and Jack both stayed back and were able to cut that off. That's a nice job of playing defense by the Spuds.
See how aggressive the Spuds get about moving the ball upfield. I suspect they'll keep it on the ground, and here's Otis Weah. He works it up across the 12 to the 13, and I don't expect there to be anything fancy or anything out of the ordinary here, unless it's 4th down and 5 or something that they want to try to get that first down chain moving ahead. But right now, that 4-yard gain for Weah brings up 2nd down.
I tell you, with the wind at their back, and if they're on their side of the 50, they're going to have to kick it. But again, you pick it up at 3.5 yards a chunk, they'll run this clock out.
On 2nd down, looking for some room. Otis Weah to the 20. And like you, Mac, we just sit and watch and marvel at how he is able to avoid being brought down, how he avoids being tackled, how he continues to stand upright and move forward. First down at the 21-yard line.
He was stopped at the line of scrimmage. They ran power. Linebacker came over, had a hold of him, and he just kind of gave him a forearm and then kept on going and broke another tackle. It's just unbelievable. Wow.
It's first down Moorhead now at their own 21-yard line as Jack Stetz counters it back to the near side, and there's some room, and it's Riley Schock up the sideline, and he gets to about the 40 and runs out of room. And if that run is good there, it is about an 18-yard run for Riley Schock and a Moorhead first down.
How about that? 3 plays and they're out to midfield, and Riley, nice job getting to the sideline. They came back with the counter power. Guard got his guy, closed it off. He stayed on the sideline and cut it back up. And what I like about it is he didn't go out of bounds, so the clock starts again. As
soon as the ball is in place and declared ready, it's underway. We approach now 6 minutes to go. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. Spuds with a 3-score lead. Here's the handoff on the near side once again, running to the short side of the field and staying on the field of play. He was ready to step out of bounds, but then wisely kept the clock running by roaming back inside.
That's Riley again.
And Riley Schock on that carry puts the ball down, just a short gain out at the 46-yard line. Second down and 8.
Again, trying to run the power. You know, they run a 4-3 defense. We haven't talked about them much, but their number 74 that time stretched that out. There was no way that he could come back inside, and he was fortunate to get two yards. But again, at the sideline, knew enough to get back in away from the sideline so the clock still runs.
With the ball and a 41-20 lead, Moorhead at their own 46-yard line. Fakes the counter, rolling far side, being chased and looking. Here's Jack Stetz on the run. Jack Stetz continues on. He's at the 30. Jack Stetz is at the 10. Jack Stetz is in the end zone. Touchdown. A 54-yard touchdown run, Jack Stetz.
They tried to run, you know, they've been running that counter, Larry. Now they come out with counter boot. You know what? Nice job by Alex. They had the deep route covered. They had Terrence Wee in the flat. They had him covered. Jack finally took it. But there was nobody other than the 2 deep safeties, and Jack showed some great speed that time. And actually, the guy had an angle on him. He beat him to the corner pylon. That was really neat.
3 fourth-quarter touchdowns for the Spuds. Put some big numbers up on the board as Clay Rivlin will wait. We had some aggressive motion by the defense, and now we got a false start coming up. Moorhead drew Alexandria offside, so for the second straight time now they'll move it back 5 yards, and the point after will come from the 8.
And they've got a better angle. I just saw both people coming in the A gap, so somebody must have been bouncing, and the referee saw it. So again, just put it foot. And the way he's been kicking, he'll do her.
Clay Rivlin. 2 steps back, 2 steps off to the near side and waits. Snap is high, but put down, and never had a chance.
No, sir.
Miscommunication and misdirection and misfire. With 5:03 to go in the fourth quarter on the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead 47, Alexandria 20. Otis Weah 5 times, Terrence Weah 1 time, Jack Stetz just has completed a 54-yard run, and the Spuds lead at 47-20. This was a 21-20 game early or late in the third quarter. It was 21-20 with 2:51 to go. when Cody Faber ran one in from 10 yards out, and that pulled the Cardinals within that single point. But it's been all Moorhead since. End over end and short. Bouncing and picked up at the 14. Ooh. Spinning and twisting his way around across the 20 and up to the 23-yard line. Cardinals begin their drive with 4:58 to go, but the Spuds have built up the advantage at 47-20.
And that was a nice high kick, Larry. You know, short, but it was high enough. And boy, first person down was Cole Crompton after the ball hit the ground, made him come back inside. And when he come back inside, he met Mr. Angotti. Mr. Angotti kind of gave him a nice welcome to Moorhead and stopped him dead in his tracks. That was a very nice tackle.
Michael Empting and company still along the far sideline, now leaving their offensive huddle to come on.
And we got a lot of new people in.
We'll try to catch up on what the Spuds have on the field here, as they have brought in Jason Sanders. Now normally a wide receiver is a corner on the near side.
And they've got a new quarterback and new running backs.
And so with the game being actually signaled then by both coaches that the result has been determined. Final score is all we need to have. And both teams are getting a lot of players in here at the end of this evening.
Yeah, and that's kind of just neat to see. The game's out of reach for them, so they got new people and new offensive linemen. They need to learn too.
And see if we can catch up on as the play goes straight in. And brought down at the 35, maybe near the 36-yard line.
Carlson in at quarterback for the Cardinals.
22. Dan Arnold made that tackle from his outside linebacker spot.
All right.
Tackled by Tyler Martin.
I'll take that back. That's Grant Conley, number 20. It looks like a 2. It was actually Grant Conley.
On first down. Wide receivers to the left and to the near side. Call goes up the middle. Quarterback on the keeper to the 40 and to the 41-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain.
Carlson with the keeper. Tackled by
And even
Martin.
with the other quarterback in Larry, they're still doing the same thing. That time they ran the read keeper. He fakes the outside zone, keeps the ball himself because the other back comes in and blocks for him, and he got some big yards on that.
Matt Carlson is the new quarterback. On second down and 5, Carlson waits. Snap is back. Hands off first man in. Nothing going there, and the play is stopped down. No gain. Right at the line of scrimmage, brought down, and it's third down. It's 3rd and 5.
That time, Tyler Martin, Larry, was playing the nose guard. He got across face the nose. They tried to run that keeper again, and he did a nice job of tackling him for loss. And he is a big young man, too, and he's just a youngster.
Duggan's oil change winner.
The Spuds are on the verge.
Knew that China was the number 1.
Spuds are on the verge of completing their regular season with 6 wins, as they hold the advantage on the Cardinals 47-20, and Carlson back to pass has the ball popped up into the air. Now, we've talked a lot about Cole Crompton today, and we've talked a lot about Otis Weah, which we do every game, it seems, because of the numbers and the plays that he seems to come up with time after time. I'm not even going to think that we'll try to estimate who our player of the game is by the end of this one.
Too many people.
Too many.
Second punt of the night.
The Cardinals are approaching, and with this kickoff away, the punt rather away, comes high, end over end, and wobbling to the near side, bouncing at the 35 and down inside the 30, and that's where the Spud offense comes back onto the field, and I suspect we'll be seeing some new people there as well.
Yep, I think we will too, but how often is this kind of neat? Terrence Weah was a deep guy. How often do you see an inside linebacker go back and return punts? I know he's a running back, but on defense, he's a linebacker. You don't expect to see him back there.
Usually it's a corner or a safety.
Yeah, but he did a good job. He let it go, and we get to see Noah Fairfield at quarterback now, and a whole bunch of different folks. We got to figure out who the backs are going to be.
Spuds will put this play in the books with 2:49 remaining.
All new defensive people, too.
Cardinals have brought some players along that will get on the turf here tonight. And as they break huddle, Noah Fairfield under, turns, hands off right side. A little bit of a hole opens up. Play is stopped, short gain. Drop down at the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. And from there it'll be second down, and another wave of players come on.
Noah Anderson, the ball
And I
carrier.
suspect these are players that through the course of the year have seen some playing time, but again, at this point in the game when the outcome has been clearly decided.
It's kind of funny. Noah Anderson was lined up as a fullback that time.
Noah
Larry,
Fairfield,
Fairfield got the
quarterback
hand
for the
off.
Spuds.
Oh, I turned the wrong way, and he barely got it to him, but he still got a positive yard.
Second down and 9. A little over 2 minutes to go. To the near side, to the edge and forward. 35 and up to the 37.
He was down.
Maybe the 38-yard line. The ball apparently came loose, but the play was already down.
Nick Johnson, the ball carrier.
And Nick Johnson on that
That's
carry
another Moorhead Spuds.
at the 39-yard line has a first down.
And again, just running that slot counter where it becomes a power block up front. And he found a seam and got positive yards. And that's a nice first down run.
2 minutes to go. Spuds leading at 47-20. Here's a play. Again, a play that has been so effective for the Spuds through the course of the year. Little sweep action to
Nick
the near
Johnson, the ball
side.
carrier.
That was him again.
And once again, Nick Johnson on the carry. He's a junior running back as he's picking up some
Gain
good
of
yardage
11.
here on this
That's
drive.
another
Yep,
Moorhead
big
Spuds.
first down. You know, he's got two carries, about
Coming up
18
in a
yards.
few
Again,
minutes,
running that
we
slot
have
counter,
the youth
gets behind the
football
guard.
players here,
Guard
some
makes a
youngsters
nice
throwing
block.
out footballs,
The
sponsored by American
wide
Crystal
receiver
Sugar. Coming
pinned
up
his
here
guy, and he
in
had a
just
nice
moment.
running lane that time, and he found it.
Closing in on midfield. It is spotted right at midfield with this first down play. Noah Fairfield on the handoff. Again with a little sweep to the near side, and out of bounds it goes. It got
Logan
out of
Hines,
bounds this
the ball
time.
carrier.
Logan Keynes.
And with that play, they'll have to put the, it won't start now until the ball ended up out of bounds, so they won't start it right away. But it goes to the 43-yard line.
Tell you
From
what,
there, the Spuds face second and
whoever's
3.
playing the right half in the slot wants to get in the game, because Moorhead really likes running that slot counter back to the left. And whoever's been there, they've gotten nice gains. They're doing a nice job up front.
Best offensive production points-wise for
Yep.
the Spuds this year. 47 up on the board. Handoff right side and across the 40 to the 39-yard
Noah
line.
Anderson, the ball
It
carrier.
was Noah again.
And
I think 30.
Noah Anderson
That's another Moorhead Spuds.
Picks up a first down.
That time they just ran the inside wham, Larry, to the fullback, and again got a nice first down.
All right, boys,
Keynes
let
was
him
playing
throw
the
down
right
there.
hand in the right
American
slot,
Crystal
came in,
Sugar
got a piece of that outside
footballs. Thank
linebacker,
you,
and that's all they need for
American
Nally to get the
Crystal
first
Sugar.
down.
at the Alexandria 39-yard line. Noah Fairfield back in pistol formation. Snap is way up and over his head.
Ball on it.
And he goes back and falls down on it at the 50-yard line. That'll go as an 11-yard loss, as that part of the game continues to be a kind of a glaring point in what we have seen throughout.
Yeah, and you know, really the Spuds haven't had a problem with it, but you know, the first line, or first teamers, I guess you call them, that happened about 3 times tonight, which we had not seen since the first week. Now you get new people in there. It's going to happen once in a while, but now they're going to put them under center.
Yeah, this is a snap and a drop to the turf with less than 25 seconds to play. All they need to do is put the ball in play, and a long count underneath and a drop to the knee, and this one goes to the Spuds tonight. A lot of energy went in, a lot of anxiety went into this game prior to the start, because there was home field advantage on the line for playoffs, and the Spuds get the win tonight. A recap of tonight's game and our players of the game when we return. Our final score on the Speakeasy scoreboard: Moorhead 47, Alexandria 20.
Rematch between these two teams.
October 20th, right back here in Moorhead. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you back here in 10 days. Sign home safely. And good night.
she have one of those?
Once again, one last reminder for the Spuds Schools Legacy Foundation hosting the first ever spectacular fall gala at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday. That is at the Courtyard by Marriott. Come on, check out the dinner and the dancing and post-traumatic front syndrome, voted one of the best live bands in the Fargo-Moorhead area. We'll see you at the Courtyard by Marriott on Saturday. We'd like to thank Ward and Deb and Muscatel of Subaru South Moorhead as they donated money tonight for Spud Scholars in the Moorhead Area Education Foundation.
Help!
We'd also like to thank Men's Hair Company tonight for donating money towards Spud football as they made $200 for every touchdown, $1,400 tonight. Men's Hair Company, thank you.
It's not pretty,
and
is
lastly,
it?
once again, thank you to Old Bird Farms for sponsoring tonight's tailgating event. We will see you back here on the 28th.
Outing tonight against the Alexandria Cardinals, 47-20 is the final.
You know, when you look what they did in the second half, they kind of took charge, and it all started when Jack knocked that ball down in the end zone, and they got good field position. And 4 plays later, they're in the end zone, and that was just kind of they got everybody's juices flowing. They looked like they were going to go and score because they were moving the ball pretty well, and that was kind of the turning point in the second half.
2 players of the game, 1 defense, 1 offense, but 1 offensive player also has a defensive mark on his side.
Yep.
Let's talk first about Cole Crompton.
Cole Crompton tonight on that long touchdown by Otis Weah, he came and made up about 30 yards and then delivered a crushing block on a guy that had the angle on him, and that was an unbelievable play. And he had at least 2 knockdowns playing corner tonight, and that's tough to do when you're playing against a team like this playing cover 2, but he did a nice job of position football and making those plays.
Solid performance tonight for Cole Crompton, one of our players of the game, and once again, we cannot overlook the production and the performance of Otis Weah.
Well, I don't know how many yards rushing he had, but it was a whole lot.
Over 100.
Yep. And then when you can't, what he did on defense tonight, he had the interception, he had two knockdowns, playing that deep cover 2 safety, and then when he roams and runs the alley and stopped that back a couple times when it looked like he was going to go, that's good football.
And he caught the ball tonight. They went to him on a couple of occasions for big plays. So 5 touchdowns on the night for Otis Weah. Jack Stetz with a nice run to finish off the Moorhead scoring, and Terrence Weah capped off a 91-yard return with a score, and the Spuds win going away tonight. And that sets up a rematch coming up on Saturday the 28th. It puts the Spuds right into the semifinal game and of Section 8 playoff. And we don't know the time yet, hoping that it will be an evening game for some obvious reasons on our part. And so with that, we know that the playoffs are pretty well set. Now Brainerd will take on the winner of the Bemidji-Sartell game. Moorhead and Alexandria will play off in the semifinals, and then we're on from there.
Do we know who Brainerd played tonight, or doesn't it matter?
It really doesn't matter at this point, I think, but because everybody was so wrapped up, and Brainerd has the wins over the other teams in the section.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, we want to thank you for being with us tonight. Thanks for Big Dog in studio, Mike Capel. Always glad to work with him. And for Kent McLeod. They call him Mac. I'm Larry Knutson, thanking you for being with us. Our final score on the Speakeasy scoreboard, Spuds 47, Alexandria 20.